is Gilbert Gottfried, and you are listening to Moulz Mel on Rap Rankings, a black guy and a Jewish guy reviewing hip-hop albums? Who would listen to that shit?
Yo, you, Drake, first and foremost. Making me do this motherfucker. Had to throw Jesse out the motherfucking room.
I can't believe this guy.
You know, I'll be honest. We were on the phone before the thing dropped. I was ready to come in here real fired up, real mad. But now, the album's has been listened to. We're here to review it. And I must say, I'm feeling pretty serene. The aura is tranquil. Shout out to my message board people. I'm just here. I'm here to talk about the Drake album.
Well, we got a little housekeeping to do before we get into that.
Oh, you do?
Okay. Drake, you were supposed to drop your album at midnight, like every other artist does, except for Kanye, because we know about him. And you made us, granted, you said 2 a.m. Eastern time, and you ended up kind of dropping it at like 1:15?
Yeah, this is what I was going to come in fired up about. Listen, I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. We talked about this on the phone. You know what? I might as well just tell him. Even though I'm not mad anymore. Listen, bro.
I'm mad still. I'm mad because this bullshit has prevented the third member from joining us for this review.
Jesse was supposed to be here.
We had an artwork done with him on it and everything.
Yeah, listen, throw a shot in the air for Jesse.
So
he's with
let
us in
people
spirit.
know, Mel. If
He's
they're
with us
new
in
listeners to the show, let them know what this show is, what we do, and why this is going to be a little bit different from our other reviews, seeing that it's a first listen.
Okay, well, this is our first listen new album review series. I should start by telling them about the rating system.
Sure.
Look, if I have slurred speech and everything, you got to understand. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drake decided to deliver this album late.
An hour late?
And
an hour
we don't
late.
wait till the next day to do these first listens. We literally get on the line. You hear this guy?
As soon as it's released.
Get on the line as soon as the shit's over. The album's fresh in our minds.
Look, we're not here to suck ourselves off, though. You know, it's our job. We love to do this. We love to keep our foot on these people's necks. You know, but
you already know.
We were expecting to be here, earlier is all,
This is Rap Rankings, the show where we listen to, rate, rank, and discuss every album in hip-hop history. I am the Captain Moulz. This is the Virgin Mel. And he's going to let you know about the rating system. Although, these ratings are especially not static.
I'll tell him. The rating system. This is how the show is going to work. So listen up, kids and adults and whoever else, because if you want to get mad or whatever, or get happy, I don't know what you want to do, but just do it all within the confines of this rating system. So, the rating system. The rating system is simple. Each song is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. These numbers do not reflect the quality of a song, as that is indeterminable. Instead, each number reflects a level of enjoyment. In short, here's what each number means. 10 means this is a perfect song to me, one of my favorite songs of all time. 9 means I love it. 8 means I like it a lot. 7 means I like it. 6 means it's alright. I don't dislike it, but I can't say that I like it. 5 means I feel practically nothing about this. 4 means it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but I dislike it. 3 means I dislike it. 2 means I hate it. And 1 means I absolutely can't stand it. One of the worst things I've ever heard. Side note, when you hear Moulz or I add a plus or a minus to those numbers, understand that the pluses and minuses have no mathematical or statistical value. They are merely indicators that mean one of two things. First thing it indicates, sorry, my voice is leaving me. It's been a long day. It's like saying a strong or light version of that number. You hear 6 plus, strong 6. 7 minus, light 7. Second thing it indicates is that the rating could go up or down in the future. And that's very important for our first listen new album review series because, I'll explain in a second. But yeah, that 6 plus could one day be a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10, or it could drop 5, 4, 3. You never know. The ratings aren't static on the show. Now, with this series, this specific series, these ratings don't go on the board. If you want to know about the board, go to raprankings.com. Listen, we have more respect for ourselves and the artists than to do one listen, literally one listen, write notes, come in here, and then put them on the big board. You know, we're not going to put a one listen review on the permanent record. So that's how this series works. It's here because, listen, we get it. We know how the world works. You want the knee-jerk reactions. You want the hot takes. Hot out the oven. Can you it burns through the oven mitt? It's so hot. You know, you want that, you know, we're here. This is the entertainment show.
Yes, series, this is entertainment, because ultimately on the main line of our show, which you can see the board and see what everything else we've ranked so far, as well as click through and actually listen to the episodes.
Look, you want to know what this show is really like? We got a Take Care review and a Nothing Was the Same review out now.
Right, and those are, number one, going to be significantly longer than this review.
Right.
And in addition, you know, we wait a year before we actually review something that's going to make it to the board. So these first listens, they're in the moment, knee-jerk reactions. I expect my rating to potentially go up or down from here. This is my first listen, so I just took some notes while I listened, put some ratings down, and I'm ready to get into it whenever you are, Mel.
It's not often that my rating doesn't change after a first listen, especially with this guy we're doing tonight. You know, I have to
we know about
sort of calibrate. You know about me, right? The Drake enthusiast. So I sort of have to calibrate myself, you know, before I can really give you a rating.
I think we should do this before we get into the review, actually. Briefly, and I do mean briefly, what is your familiarity with this artist that we're going to be reviewing? We shouldn't even
do that, because there's no way to be brief about it, and they'll find out through the course
of the Drake, right? We all know Drake.
Listen, I've known Drake since I was 8 or 9 years old. Can we say at the very least, for those listening right now, going in, are we both Drake fans to some degree or extent? I would say yes. Yes, absolutely. I would call myself a super fan, actually.
I would say my super fandom of Drake ended in 2014, but I still remain a fan of his, despite the fact that I have criticisms about him. In fact, I made a comparison to you earlier today, and I think it's pretty accurate the more I think about it. The way I feel about Drake is the way I feel about modern day WWE wrestling, in the sense that it feels like I've been watching the same program for years on end with no change to the presentation whatsoever. But it's still wrestling at the end of the day. But my fanatic years as a wrestling fan have come and gone.
I don't even know if I can meet you there, because the modern day WWE product, you know, I'm still rocking with them over AEW. You know, I got loyalties, you know. But I think modern day Drake is better than modern day WWE. Sorry, Vince. It is what it is, you know. But
I guess that remains to be seen as we get into the CLB review. And congrats, Drake, you could finally take the heart out of your hair.
Listen, we're gonna. Sorry, do we usually do? I mean, that was the ratings, but do we usually explain the takeaway, average, and weighted, or is that part of? It's been so long since we've done the first listen.
Yeah, we might as well
just been shook, you know, not releasing things because of the virus.
Tell them, because we're going to give our weighted ratings and everything at the end.
Okay, well, listen, yeah. All right. Once every song on an album is rated, 3 separate ratings are determined: the takeaway rating, the average rating, and the weighted rating. The takeaway rating is the percentage of songs liked, that is, songs rated 7 or higher. For example, on a 10-song album, if you like 5 songs, the takeaway rating would be 50%. The average rating is the percentage obtained by dividing the sum of the song scores by the highest possible score that particular album can receive. For example, each song can receive a maximum score of 10 points, so if an album has 10 songs, the highest possible score would be 100 points. The weighted rating is the percentage obtained by adding the takeaway rating to the average rating and dividing by 2. Once we have our separate weighted ratings, we add those together and divide by 2, with the resulting percentage being considered the final and definitive rating used to ultimately rank the album on the giant board of every rap album in history, which we won't be doing here tonight because it is a first listen to album review. Right. Okay.
All right. So I think that covers everything.
It's kind of a weird order, but look, we're tired. We're tired, man.
We're tired, and you know what?
Y'all know Jesse. Tired. We're all tired these days.
He took Jesse from us.
He took Jesse, our third member. He took him from us. Okay. He was already got a new laptop and everything. Jesse, you know what? No, I promised Jesse I would cuss Drake out. I mean, I started at the top, but look, bro, you know, I'm not even mad anymore. But here's the thing, bro. Drake.
You're better than this. You can't be running a Mickey Mouse operation like the competitor.
You're running around like Kanye, bro. What are you doing? Delaying? You haven't delayed something since like so far gone when we were all up that night. I was a junior in high school and you were like, you know, give it. Listen, man.
Right, but you weren't the biggest rapper in the world at that point. That was the difference.
Look, shout out to
that was a mixtape. I mean, come on, man, get it together.
Shout out to all the artists who've been holding their stuff because of COVID. I get it. Okay, smart. You gotta, you know, you don't want to waste the album and you can't tour. I understand. I was an artist once myself. I understand. I don't blame you. But this is the way I look at it. Drake, you first teased this album 2010, summer 2010, spring 2010. You said it'd be out that summer.
2010?
Come out. Or, sorry, not 2010, 2020.
I was thinking, damn, you're going deep in the Drake lore. Was this mentioned early on?
Yeah, no. We haven't. No, 2020. Sorry, that's what I meant. You know, he told us about this then, and then I think he probably underestimated how crazy COVID was going to be moving. So we didn't get it then, and you know, he was like, you know, January came around. He put the trailer out January. Then that didn't come. 2021. And then no, he tore his ACL or meniscus or whatever it was, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, Whoopi, where's my Whoopi drop? Okay. He said he tore something and we just all sat here like this.
Okay.
So we kept waiting. He said, see you in 2021, right? So first of all, I'm already thinking at this point, you know, as he's done this, you know, you do a whole trailer and then we don't get it. I'm looking at
Mel. What happened to this like 4-night concert streaming event?
That was all theory and wild internet speculation. You know,
seemed
you know
like
how that
bullshit,
goes.
But you know,
yeah. Anyway, the
like
point is,
there was a rollout that was already, you know, between the trailer, the Laugh Now Cry Later. It's clearly a push.
It's just been a weird rollout. I hate the term rollout has been ruined, okay? Because everybody thinks they know about it now because, yeah, but look, man, the point is, Drake,
you broke your promise.
Okay? And you kind of kept us in the dark for a while. I didn't know what was going on. I had to check these messages. You know how bad these message boards are? I was on Reddit.
You got the Drake report canceled, Drake, because of
you had a Drake report on our proper show, Rap Rankings Proper, the mainline show. You know, I had to cancel the Drake report because we wasn't getting enough reports. You know, I was on Reddits and Discords. You know, those places are dark.
Well, you were getting reports, but it was all false infos.
You know, the message boards were getting scoops from, they called him, quote, fat academics. It was getting bad out
Listen, that was fake news us, okay?
Listen, man. So we're just waiting, you know, Laugh Now, Cry Later's getting stale. And then we get to this night. It's like we've only had like a week, like, rollout, really, you know, because you postponed it until like this week, really. And it's just... What do we get? Some billboards and
Sports Center advertisements that popped up.
You know, Hacker Man advertisements and like freaking billboards with Instagram caption lyrics that were making me nervous and the features. Listen, the point is, we get to this night, right? We're all planning for this to be released. Me, Jesse, Moulz, you know, midnight.
Look, we're in the middle of a Jizza Liquid Swords review in the main line right now that we have basically, we've only recorded part 1 and our guest spot so far. We still have to record the review on Saturday. We moved heaven and earth for this.
You know, and then he doesn't even release it on time. And I'm looking like, bro, you had an extra year and a half. Why are you working up to the deadline? And here's the thing. This is the problem with this streaming era, okay? Oh, sorry. Rap Rankings newcomers. When we end words in it's just a thing we do, okay? Just don't worry about it. Arrow, okay? This new streaming arrow has made these artists so lazy. Because they work up until the last possible second because they know they can just deliver the WAV file masters and put it on the services in like 10 minutes.
Dude, artists would work to the deadline back in the CD era, but there was like a, 2-3 week buffer time where if they didn't make it, their album's getting pushed back.
You know, right. And now they just think, oh, whatever, we can deliver the masters at the last possible minute. And then it's like, oh, we missed the deadline, whatever. Push it back a couple hours. Bro, you had an extra year. And if you were going to do... And here's the thing. He said, 2 a.m. Eastern. It wasn't even that. It was an hour earlier than that.
Right. So
like, what are we...
We're sitting around really just being
I
a
drank
couple
300 milligrams of caffeine, sitting over here shaking.
We're complaining on the phone like a bunch of Karens, really.
I was angry. I had the bubble guts because the caffeine. My body currently feels...
I was going to lay down for a little bit, and then Mel's talking about, oh, no, it's here. I'm thinking, what's going on?
Bro, what's going on? And I'm just sitting here, man. Look, hey, y'all just don't have to deal with this. Let me rant, okay? Let me rant. Drake fans, we'll get to the review.
I'll take 115 over 2 o'clock. Don't get me wrong, but, I mean, what is with the erratic nature of the operation right now?
Bro, my body feels like a crumbling factory dealing with this tonight, okay? And it's just... I really shouldn't. We look at the feed. Look at the RSS feed. We do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hour shows. We do this. So don't think we're complaining because we have to do it. It's just we thought we were going to be able to do it at a certain time.
And we were supposed to do it with our good pal, the third member, Jesse Fairfax, aka @From Old Harlem. And he had to wake up early. He had other obligations. And he wasn't able to make it now because of this pushback.
He had to get a new laptop, and it's like, if anything, why didn't you tell us this morning, Drake? Because I wouldn't have minded if you said 2, because then I would have known 2 a.m. Eastern. Okay.
He bought a Chromebook, then he went back to the store to get a Windows instead and returned the Chromebook because he was unsure.
Chromebooks are waste ute machines.
What is going on, Drake? What is going on, man?
Just why would you wait so close to the normal release time to tell us it's going to be 2 hours late, and then it's only 1 hour late?
Dark Lane demos came out on time. They're demos, and they came out.
You killed the vibe. You killed the vibe, man. Of your own big night.
But don't worry,
bro. I would lose points when I actually did turn in assignments late. At all. I would lose points for this Bull Smith when I would turn in late work. This is late work. You should lose points. I should dock your ratings I'm about to get. But we're professional.
That's not
we don't
fair.
do that here. We don't do that here. We're professional.
We got to have some integrity here. If you don't want to do the review, don't do it. But listen, when I press play on that thing, the music goes in my ears and the rating comes out of my fingers. That's what happens.
Look, like 40's mom always say, rap rankings is professional. Okay. So through this weird rollout with, whole chunks of time with no information to just everything being rushed out in 1 week.
Rollout. I'm here to review the music.
Exactly.
And I know you are
That's
too.
what we do. I am too. So you know what? Let's get into it. Let's make this
real fucking quick, nigga.
Okay.
And for us, real fucking quick is about 2-3 hours.
Let's get into it, man.
Is Lipton on board with this one, you think?
The Brisk Pace, sponsored by Lipton. I think they're on board. We're making good time. We're making good time. So here we go.
You got track production credits, or we're just winging it?
Nah. We know how the first listens go. I'm not.
Okay.
They get track titles and features. Sometimes they don't even get features if they're not written down. So yeah. All right, here we go. Track 1, Champagne Poetry. Well, good news, Drake. You're starting out on a great note. Flat 8 from Mel.
I wish we could connect.
Okay.
And I say that because we're really, really close. In fact, favorite song on the album. The whole album. All 21 songs. This is the peak for me. 7+.
Nice.
So I didn't give anything an 8 this time around. 8.
Real fucking quick, nigga.
What in the world?
I really like it. I know we're going, Drake.
Tweaking again.
Let me at least tell you what I like about it, though, bro. You're just slow down, bro.
How's he gonna rush us along after he made us late?
We know
the
about
nerve of this guy.
Okay.
The nerve.
So I'm not giving it an 8 right now, even though it's my favorite song on here. It's the first listen. Everything hasn't really sunk in for me, and I'll get into that in my description of the track and why. Maybe you'll understand why I'm at a 7+ on this. But yeah, 7+. Favorite thing on the album. I have a lot to say. More so than other tracks.
All right. Well, I'll start here. As soon as it came on musically, I was thinking, yes. Because
listen,
I'm
going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right now.
Chops?
They're different types of records. Mm-hmm. But I'm putting this on 1A, 1B with Legend as my favorite Drake intro of all time.
God.
And I'm not a Drake intro enthusiast.
I was just about to say, Moulz is not even a Drake intro lover.
I have criticisms
like most people,
of his
me
intros.
included. I think he's great with his intros. But yeah, Moulz not so much. But you like this
As far as his rapping intros go, And the beat is the best intro beat he's ever had.
Oh, bro. Okay.
I have so much to say about this beat. And I want to say, this is going into this album. I was telling Mel, I'm coming to hear Drake over music I've never heard him over before. It's important to me that we don't just get rehash of the same shit that he's essentially been doing since, if you're reading this /Views era.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
one could argue he's been spinning his wheels since 2015. One could make that argument.
Definitely. He's been in the same musical space.
Right.
Whereas many other artists like to switch it up every album. You get a different soundscape. Drake is old reliable, right? You kind of know what you're going to get from him. But I live for these curveballs from him. And we open up with one. So I'm thinking immediately, I'm going to have to eat my words about this album.
It was sounding special coming on. I'm like, yo, is he actually
It opens up with these chopped up, pitched up vocals, and the beat is very chaotic sounding. It has those low ambient drums in the mix, but there's like 2 or 3 different layered vocal samples, and Drake is rapping. I mean, rapping, to the point where he does this a couple times on the album. Maybe there's 3 or 4 other songs where he really kind of bars out, quote unquote. But this is the tightest rapping I've heard from him throughout this whole first listen. My only knock on this in the first listen, that first verse with all that stuff going on in the mix, felt like there was a lot to try to focus on at once. But then by the second verse, I felt like things came a bit more into focus for me. The sample got to breathe again with no Drake and no real beat behind it. And then we get that low pass beat switch. But let's stay on the beginning here.
Okay. Well,
what did you take away from before we get to the beat switch, Mel?
Well, you said you were having difficulty keeping track. Maybe it's because...
I mean, if I go back and listen to it a couple more times, it'll probably normalize to me. But it was what I asked to hear. I wanted to hear something different. So hearing Drake almost competing for my attention with 2 other vocal samples whirring about in the mix was like a bit chaotic at first. But even by that second verse, I said, I kind of adjusted my ears to it a little bit more.
I got calibrated real quick because, I come from a dark past of production. So, like, I can usually sift through the chaos more than other people, I guess. So, yeah, I was tuned in. I got this sense with the boy's voice. I can just kind of, the Bamski was bricked up. I can really focus in. I was erect the whole time,
folks. It was bricked. I've heard it. I mean, they've always said that as far as when
I hear the boy's voice, I'm standing at attention. What do you want? All right, listen. I'm gonna just tell you, when this one came on, after all the worry and concern I had going in, I was like, "Oh no, I'm about to be a dirty slut for this man again." Like I was scared.
I was ready to pull down the straps like Kurt Angle and hit him with that. Woo!
Oh man!
But then I told myself, "Hold on,
we got 20 more tracks."
There's a lot more.
Relax.
Don't overheat yourself.
Yeah. So this comes on. I'm loving the chops, and I'm like, okay, so I'm tuned in. I'm hearing the lines. We're getting some very early. We're getting the classic Drake one-liners. The IG captions. Live so much for others, I forgot how to feel. Live so much for others, I forgot how I feel. I'm like, oh, I love that. Talking about moonwalking through a minefield. It's like, oh, we got more Michael Jackson references. Okay, but I actually like that one. That was dope. And I was like, okay, he's still kind of doing the drone flow that I want him to break out of all the time, but the bars are there. And just as I thought that, he said something like about, these are the effortless flows, supposedly. So I'm like, oh, he's aware? He's becoming self-aware? I'm like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, this is the best beat he's been on in a while. This is sounding special. Then the beat switches.
Yes.
So this is
furthest thing I wrote. It reminds me of the beat switch on Furthest Thing. Smoking, drinking, getting money.
He was doing a lot of beat switches on Tuscan Leather too, obviously. Yep. It's just, Yeah,
but
so
the beat itself literally sounded like what the Jake 1 beat at the end of Furthest Thing.
Right.
It's a lot easier to focus on the bars on the second beat, and even though there's like some weird like radio static kind of that starts creeping in, I wrote here that I said I wanted this album to sound musically different than the holding pattern we've seen Drake in for the past 7 years, and this at least checks that box for me. And the bars sound pretty precise, even though I had some trouble keeping up with them at first. There's some more musical flourishes at the end, perhaps by 40, kind of outer space sounding, which we'll revisit 1 or 2 more times on this album. I said I think I might need to sit with this one more, but as of right now, 7+.
I mean, I'll tell you this. So the beat switches, and I decide, by the end of the song, I like the first beat and part better. Beat and bars, both better in the first part. But the second part's cool. Emo Mel, Lonely Mel was feeling my heart feel vacant and lonely. Yes, it does. There was a moment where he sort of starts raising his voice along with the beat, which was dope. We don't usually get that from him. Like, he's not usually that emotive.
Right, like that. I'm like,
is he trying to go there?
You With Me, but he didn't quite go there. He didn't quite. I know what you're referring to. He didn't.
Right. He didn't all the way go there, but he was kind of elevating with the beat. I'm like, oh, okay.
I will say this, Mel, versus Views, because I do think he sounds locked into certain flows on Views, for instance. He gets locked into flows on this album, but when he's rapping like he raps on this song and a few other songs on this album, he does seem a little more energetic in his voice. He sounds a lot more focused and keyed in than he did on Views. Like, I hear you. He's not reinventing the wheel with his flows, but he's sounding tight and like invigorated and, like he's in control.
Yeah. Yeah. By the end, because there's another beat switch. There's a third one. So like very Tuscan Leather.
A lot of beat switches all over this album.
All over this album. We'll get to it to varying degrees of effectiveness. But by the end of this, I'm like, yo, he keeps this up, this is going to be his first undebatable classic. Because people like to go back and forth. Does Drake have a classic? I think he does. It's Nothing Was the Same. Review out now, like I said earlier. But
that was a Moulz Mel double stamped classic.
Yeah, we both stamp it. It's
so there
rap
you go.
Rankings
like,
approved.
If you're listening right now and you're wondering what the credibility of the two people you're listening to, what do they even like Drake? I mean, we think Nothing Was the Same. It's the third best album in hip hop history right now.
Bro, as of right now, look, we've done. Let me see. I'm on raprankings.com right now, looking at the board. Out of the 81 reviews that are currently there, Drake is number 3 with the 85% weighted. 8.5 out of 10. You gave it a 81%. I gave it a 89%.
Right.
Giving us a rap rankings weighted rating of 85%. It's 8.5 out of 10.
Suffice to say, there's no agenda against Drake here tonight.
Absolutely not. I just said I was erect for the man, So, look, I got my hopes high by the end of this first track. I was very worried going in, and I'm like, yo, okay, maybe
I got my
see
hopes
now.
High, but then I checked myself because I was like,
check yourself.
I was like, yo, chill out, buddy. You don't even know what's coming. Okay.
It's like,
look at these features. Okay.
I was like, yo, am I gonna basically? It's like, am I gonna have to lick some OVO branded boots after all? And it's like, let me chill out.
Is he still on the Red Wing boots? Is he still repping those?
Red Wing boot gang. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah,
there was a Red Wing. I was living in Woodside, Queens at the time when Thank Me Later came out, and when he said, "Fuck that old shit, I'm on new things." OVO click Red Wing boot gang. And there was a new Red Wing store that opened up in Sunnyside. I went to the store and I was checking out boots, trying to size what Red Wing boot should I buy, because I'm in this gang as well. In addition to Drake, I'm also a part of the Red Wing boot gang. Never owned a pair of Red Wings in my life, but this fucking Canadian was trying to influence me, a younger Moulz. So this was a 22-year-old Moulz.
Oh man!
In the Red Wing store in Sunnyside,
Well, when you were 22, I was 16, I think. So, yeah, I ain't have no money.
We know about
me. I still ain't got no money.
Listen, what did ODV say?
What now?
What did ODV say?
Oh, what? Hey, Hey, yeah, I got you.
No, he said, came out my mama's pussy. I'm on welfare. 26 years old, still on welfare.
I'll tell you this.
But Mel also refuses welfare, which is insane.
I mean, it's just...
we know about you. You listen to Candace Owens. She speaks of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. He doesn't believe in government handouts.
Candace Owens.
We know about you. And we know about today because you went into this album the way the Trumpers went into Election Day. You were fearing the worst. Hoping for the best, but fearing the worst.
I mean...
There's a chasm between that 81% that I gave Nothing Was the Same and the 89% you gave it. But of course,
chasm
we know about it, and it's fine. But
look, I'll just say this. This is what I'll say, okay? Moulz, you were 22. You probably had a little bit of money trying to buy some Red Wing boots. If I would have went in there, I would have asked. They would have told me the price. I would have said, I ain't got it. And you know what they would have told me?
Your poverty offends me.
That's what they would have told me. So, yeah.
Quick pickup on the new drop.
Yeah, you know.
Shout out to the FX networks for that one.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Murpho. Anyway, what do you say we keep going?
We gotta keep going. It's
we show
super crucial and
it's
important.
2:19 in the morning here.
We've set up the stakes. Okay, is Drake gonna do it again?
I mean, we didn't even really get into the stakes properly, but just their stakes. Look, maybe we'll get to it throughout the review, but just this is a very pivotal moment in his career. It feels like
whether he knows it or not.
Exactly.
I hope he knows it.
I hope he knows it. Anyway,
it feels like dropping the album an hour and 16 minutes late is indicative of not knowing it, but maybe he knows and can't help it. I don't know. What's next? Track 2?
What's next? Yes. Track 2.
Speaking of which, I'm glad that What's Next isn't on this album. I think even the people that liked it got sick of it by the end of the NBA. You know?
Facts.
It was playing it too much.
Facts. Yeah, what we have next, a track Eddie Guerrero would love. Track 2, Papi's Home. 7+.
Flat 6 for me. Also, you call your song Papi's Home, but you say Daddy's Home in the song. You don't say Papi. What is that? It's weird. Just call it Daddy's Home. Because that's what you say in the song. You don't say Papi.
I don't know.
That's a knock against it for me. What did my notes say? Soulful sample into heavily phasered and pitched up vocals and typical drum programming and hi-hat pattern when the beat drops. Drake doing his Drake thing on here. Some beat reversal and no drums with the sample playing out and Drake and Nicki Minaj maybe just ad-libbing.
No, it's Nicki.
Then the beat drops and you get the Daddy's Home refrain. Beat keeps dropping in and out. Not so crazy about this one and less intrigued by it musically than the last one. So yeah, I just think this one's very stop and go for me. There are moments I thought were decent, but this didn't grab me overall.
In contrast to the first track, this is a beat where I feel like I've heard it at least a dozen times from Drake. I like it, but this is like, conventional Drake type beat. Better than, I guess, beats he's been rapping on recently. There's a little more weight to this. It's a little more fleshed out, which I appreciate. When I saw it on the track list, I figured it was going to be a singing song to the opposite sex. To my surprise, it's a bit of a concept record. He's talking to his kids in the game. The Drake sperm cells, the offshoots, the derivatives. So that was fun. Exactly. That was cheeky.
Is it?
Well, as much as I like this guy, Jack Harlow. That's my main man, Jack Harlow. That's a cold white boy. Listen, Jack.
And you ain't black.
But I still like you.
But you are Jack.
And you ain't black, but you are Jack. That's what Biden would say. He's got plenty of kids. Tory's a kid.
Tory's in timeout.
He is. Look, he knew what he did. Okay.
Also, he's halfway not really a rapper.
So is Drake.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's addressing his kids in the game. So I'm like, oh, that's cheeky. He's got some lines. I'm in the bank saying, "Poor you." Girls in the bathroom doing something that is not Pepsi. Shorties
RC.
get knocked down, don't they? What'd you say?
RC.
There's Moulz. No, not RC. Sam's Cola, as a matter of fact. I laughed at Big Al, Big Birds
better
Forever.
Better than Sam Do.
Hey, Sam Do is good. Okay, Sam Do has a 10, 2 10s actually. One as a solo artist and one with his previous group. Was it Cloud Eater? I almost called him Clown Eater. Yeah, I think it's Cloud Eater. Anyway, check out Hollow, folks, by Cloud Eater, and check out Remember by Sam Do. Anyway, this ain't Sam Do rankings. This is rap rankings, and we're doing a Drake album. Nice cameo from Nicki, because he's like talking to his kids. Don't make me go get your mama to talk to you. And Nicki's always calling people her sons. So I popped for that. Verse? I'm fine with her not having a verse. I'm fine. I'm more than fine. Listen, Queen review out now if you want to know what Mel thinks about Nicki Minaj. So I popped when she showed up. I like his singing. I was dope to hear him singing alongside the sample. And I'm like, okay, the boy's here. He's singing to these kids in the game. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. 7+. Papi's home, I guess. So my hopes are still pretty high.
Why is it called Papi's home though? He keeps saying Daddy's home.
Because sometimes he's Papi, sometimes he's Daddy.
Well, then he should have called the song Daddy's Home.
He's not Champagne Daddy. He's Champagne Papi.
Then he should have said Papi's home.
Well, he did say Papi's home.
No, he said Daddy's home.
Oh, what's going on? What in the rabbit season, duck season is happening right now? We ain't got time for this.
It's the new Who's on First.
Who's on first? You want to move on?
We gotta move on. Lipton's on the call tonight.
That's right. All right, listen. Let's move on. Track 3, Girls Want Girls, featuring Lil Baby. Okay. Flat 7.
6-.
Listen, this was Mel bait. He made this for me, okay? This was a cheap pop for Mel. If you know me from this show, if you're a long-time listener, if you've been in my life for a long time, you know that Mel has a history of loving and falling for tomboys and lesbians, okay? It's a thing for me. So the whole concept of this record, he's like, you said that you were a lesbian, me too. He knew I'd pop for that. He knew it. Tomboy lover Mel's in the building. He's got some slick lines. Fuck you niggas thinking, try and block you on a fadeaway.
Line.
What?
Just saying I'm a lesbian.
Much better than lesbianist. Okay, it's better than that.
But Cameron did a much better twist on it in Kill a Season on what was it, Suck It or Not, when he said Ma, if we link, we link. You don't like men, me neither. What a coinky dink.
I mean, that was I like that. That was dope.
Drake just saying like I'm a lesbian. It's like no, you're
not.
Dude.
It's great. It's great.
He's not a lesbian.
Come on, it's great.
What is a lesbian, Mel? What is the definition of a lesbian?
Well, let's go to Google. Why don't we? Lesbian definition: a gay woman. That's all it says.
It's very stupid. He's not a lesbian.
Gender's a construct. He might.
Cameron did a much better twist on that conceit. And beat wise, I think it's 100% in the wheelhouse of the stuff Drake's been doing for the last couple projects. The melodic sing-songy delivery here, Little Baby feature, pretty much on par with all the other Little Baby performances I've heard on features over the past year or so. He shows up. He sounds like he cares. I don't, but I respect his enthusiasm. Melodically, I think this is stronger than Daddy's Home, but that's about it in terms of positives. Also feel like we're a bit too early in the album for something this middling already.
Fair, because I'm about to meet you there real soon. But listen, I just want to say shout out to all my tomboys and lesbians.
Are you a lesbian, Melvin?
Throughout media. Yes, I am.
You're a gay woman.
Absolutely. Shout out to Vange from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Shout out to Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls. Shout out to the Kanker sister with the blue hair from Ed, Edd n Eddy. This is the type of wave I've been on my whole life. and I'm gonna stay on it because it's my wave.
So
okay?
you're not a heterosexual male who is into lesbians. You yourself are a homosexual woman.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now,
where's Whoopi when you need her?
No, we don't need Whoopi.
We're accepting of all races, genders, sexualities. If Mel tells me he's a lesbian, I'm inclined to believe
absolutely
him.
We are here on Rap Rankings. We got a drop for it. Here we go.
You part of the LGBT community.
But
Shout out to Jesse.
I got to question Drake's credentials in the LGBT community.
Listen, we even got a you don't question his don't dead name him. Don't, what do they say?
He's queer baiting. That's what I've been hearing. He's queer baiting.
Listen, how dare you? You don't know his life. Listen, Moulz is wilding, but as a unit, as Rap Rankings, we don't stand for none of that intolerance. All right, we got to drop for whenever we hear certain things. I'm finna hit it.
Time to play the game!
Oh, man.
When we hear that Triple H, that hip-hop homophobia.
Rough week for that guy.
Oh, yeah, he kind of got fired. How he get fired on his day off, I don't know. But there's no hip-hop homophobia on this album, thank God. Drake doesn't really traffic in that at all. Shout out to him. But anyway, this record...
Has Drake ever said a homophobic line before?
Not that I can recall. He's maybe have done some like classic masculinity, like on this album he was like, you acting like a bitch or whatever. But
no, but I'm talking like something that would initiate that drop.
Oh man, this man just said with the limp wrist. You can't trust this Moulz, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I thought we were inclusive here, but this. No, I'm kidding. But I don't think he ever has. I relate to I might come, I might go. I don't know. That's that indecisive lover boy talk. I relate to it. At first, I'm like
Pornhub at 2:30 in the morning. I might come, I might go.
Come on, that's the normie site. Listen, bro. All right, let's keep it real. These are the hours too for me to keep it real. If you ain't on that Daft sex, okay, I don't know what you doing.
Like Daft Punk, Daft sex.
Yeah, like Daft Punk, Daft sex, spank bang. Hit
bang.
4chan for the foreplay. 4chan.
We know about this guy 4chan. We know about him.
No, you don't. Don't go there for anything other than smut because it's a cesspool.
All right. We know about Mel. His whole ideology and belief system was formed and shaped by this 4chan. Me and the third member, Jesse, we were on okplayer.com talking about hip-hop. We know about Mel. He was talking about my rights and all that kind of stuff on 4chan we know about the cretins that live on there.
So Jesse and Moulz were over there talking about
hip-hop. It started out in the park.
And Mel was on 4chan in the grime and mud. I just see a skit in my head of like Drake. If you're listening, have you ever been to 4chan? I don't recommend you go, but I feel like he'd be in the studio at 40 and he's like, yo 40, is this a snuff us? And 40 rolls over and sees like the person like, Drake, what are you doing? Like he's like, I just came here because the boys Moulz and Mel told me to come to the site, and it's like, it's like dead people on the site. Like he would be vexed. Mans would be vexed by the whole.
Speaking of Drake bringing us up, did you not float the idea earlier that maybe we would be sampled on this album?
Hey, a Drake enthusiast can dream. I figured
maybe ridiculous fuck.
Let me pull the drop in. Look, folks, I thought maybe perhaps Drake would have heard one of our humble reviews and would have sampled us. Okay, I thought maybe that was a possibility, but apparently, no. And the universe just looked at me like,
now you's a ridiculous fuck.
And then that's all that happened. So. Anyway, listen, this girls want girls. Lil Baby comes in. I'm thinking, this didn't need Lil Baby. He keeps rapping. I'm like, this really didn't need Lil Baby. Keeps rapping. I'm like, all right, it's going to be good for the streams, though. And then he has one line. She like eating pussy. I'm like, me too. I'm like, never mind. Keep him in here. Great wine. Great wine. And I know the girls are finna love this one.
Don't even ask me how he Me Too'd someone. And he got a bar off.
What?
Yep.
How?
Because he said Me Too. Because he was Me Too'ing her. She was sexually harassing him.
Oh, come on, man.
She was bringing that kind of energy to him. He wasn't ready for it. But also, he was getting a bar off.
All right. Well,
like I said, when Little Baby comes, he comes to like deliver a verse where he clearly has some level of investment in the artist that he's working with or whatever. Like he tries. I'm not all in on him. He hasn't blown me away. He's
I've
fine.
yet to find. We've talked about this on the show. I've yet to find Lil Baby solo records that I'd care for, but for what it's worth, I've enjoyed him on a lot of features. So there's that.
I definitely don't think he gets in the way of my enjoyment of anything. I just don't necessarily think he's stood out for me, and I have yet to heard any of his solo albums. So I don't know.
Maybe. I liked him on Wants and Needs. He took off. I liked him on the Jack Harlow
album. Listen, Wants and Needs was a better collaboration between Drake and Lil Baby than Girls Want Girls is.
It was.
And not for nothing, already had some streams on it, so he could have, put a little battery in the back of this album with no singles. Album has no singles.
Well, he was trying to feed. Oh, we'll get there. But look, he was trying to feed the man. Them. He didn't want to give us
I know you got to feed the man, but don't neglect the streamos. You know what I mean?
He didn't. That's why he put Lil Baby on the new song. Now, here's the thing. Lil Baby, you're a good feature artist. You're fine here. This song, all I really have to say is this is, the girls are going to love it. This is the Love Guru approved, this record.
Hit the drop.
I am the Love Guru. I'm going to hit the drop.
The Love Guru? The Love Guru! Guru! The Love Guru.
I have seen it.
That's me.
I think I pop hardest for the I have seen it.
Which is funny because I've never seen it. I've never seen the movie. Yeah. Anyway, that soundbite is actually from a shout out to what is it? Another. It's not often that we shout out other people in the podcast space, as they would say. But there's this Headgum Podcast Network. They got a little YouTube series going on.
I don't know about that Headgum. Listen.
Oh, you know about them?
Well, one of my all-time faves, the Doughboys, are on the Headgum Podcast Network. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Mitch and Weiger of the Doughboys. We love the Doughboys.
Let me bring in that, bro. I haven't played this in a while. I like them.
Roll Out Red.
Yeah, them
I like them.
Headgum Podcast Network. Oh, I like them. Okay. Anyway, you want to move on?
Maybe they're a good podcast network.
I think so. Look, they got my mans Jake and Amir. They putting out good YouTube videos. It's good. It's good. Good network.
The Doughboys, they were originally on Feral Audio, but the guy who runs that was a real fucking creep, so they left.
He was too feral. He was running around like them.
That's true.
People.
They shouldn't listen. A leopard never changes his stripes. What do we got? We got more. We got so much more music, Oz.
I don't think that's how it works. We need a
tunas.
I think it's just tune. Got more tune for your RSS feed. So watch how you speak on the pod. Yeah. Let's move it along. Track 4 in the Bible.
I'm a big. Maybe it's the Wu-Tang Clan. Fourth Chamber review we did for our Liquid Swords review that's coming out on Wednesday. Maybe that. Maybe the track is track 4. Numerology, man. All right. Number 4.
Relax. This title's hilarious to me. Track 4 in the Bible featuring Lil Durk and Giveon. I'm gonna give this record a flat 6.
I'm gonna have to hit this one with a 4, meaning I don't like it.
Not the worst thing you've ever heard, but you dislike it.
I don't like this one. Definitively don't like it. Compared to the last 2 songs where they're but there's something that's holding them back for me. This I just don't like.
I don't want to speak out of turn or speak for you, but I'm gonna hit this drop. Drake.
By the way, I'm Jewish.
What are you talking about in the Bible?
I wrote.
Shouldn't it be the Torah?
So yes, it should. I wrote on board, which is a bad thing to lead my notes off with. I'm bored, sadly. What is my fellow Hebrew brethren talking about the Bible for? Put that on the Bible? Come on, bro. We know about you. Musically, it's not all that different from the last song. Performance-wise, not all that different from the last song. A little more melodically driven. They don't say that in the Bible. How do you know? Why are you reading that? Little Durk, same as he's always been. And then he says, I did my dance on time on TikTok.
No, I did my dance on TikTok one time and went viral with it. So not timeless. Very not timeless line.
Why did you say that? And then he proceeds to just leave 4 bars open and literally just go, instead of finishing his verse.
Lil Durk had a moment on Laugh Now, Cry with, oh, that was great. Okay, that was a great moment. If
this is Lil Durk trying to recreate that moment, let me just say, completely failed by just ending his verse 4 bars early to try to just go, okay, where's Whoopi when you need her? Okay,
you're hitting Whoopi on him?
And then, God damn it, okay,
I'll bring Whoopi in for Lil Durk. Here you go.
Okay.
He was doing just fine to that TikTok shit, and then it just completely.
He wasn't doing just fine to me because he's rapping about Louis Vuitton. Well, I don't want to hear about Chanel and Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but he's he's just doing whatever. He's not offended me. Then I just wrote, this one's a bit of a pain in the ass to get through. Pick up the energy here a bit, Drizzy. And then here comes Giveon, talks of good girls. This fucking fake ass Sampa James Blake ass Giveon guy.
You keep calling him that. He doesn't.
You gotta get him out of here. I was right about John Tolliver, and now history will absolve me on this fucker too, okay? This is a bunch of low-pass, ambient nonsense at the end. Is not needed. I'm not enjoying myself. I want to
say, during the first listen for Dark Lane demo tapes that Moulz made us do after a graduation review where I was trashing Giveon, I was wrong. He's fine. I was being mean to Giveon. But here, he does nothing. Look, what can I say about this?
Was I not right about John Tolliver?
It's Don Tolliver and
Don Oliver, whatever his name is. We don't give a damn about him. Well, found out this week he was a rapist. I found that out on the internet, and I said, Mel, was I not warning you about this guy, his bad influence for months now? You were saying no, he's a jack boy.
I didn't say that. Look, this is one I predict as the love guru, the girls are gonna love this one. It's kind of whatever. It's kind of just there. Like, he has some lines,
ridiculous.
How them niggas love you now. You don't know love. You don't love me like my child. Turn up every day, girl. We don't say that in the Bible. Okay, yeah, all right. The beat's like trying to be good, but the melody isn't there, so I don't like it. They tried to get musical with like that overdriven, distorted chipmunk vocal before Giveon came in, but it just...
That vocal puts in work throughout this whole album. This is the worst song on the album for me. There's only one song. There's only one other song with a 4, but it's a 4+. And this is just a flat 4. I think this is the worst shit on here.
All right.
Everyone shit the bed for different reasons. Drake, you're Jewish. Lil Durk, come back to Earth. We miss you because you left Earth 4 bars before your verse ended and we never heard from you again. And Giveon, I want checks written to Sampa and James Blake monthly for their influence. Like for all the, you know what, all the Brits, you got to figure that out amongst yourself. Pounds, euros, whatever you guys got. Give each other a freaking, what do you eat, figgy pudding and mashed peas. Go eat some of that and help each other stop sounding like each other.
He's from like LA, bro.
Then he's been listening to those guys too much, thinking he's Brit. We know about, bro, there's Americans that think they're British and they carry on like they're fucking Brits.
Okay. If you say so.
5,000 to 8,000 of them.
What kind of arbitrary number? All right. You want to move on?
I'm fine with that. And I'm dealing arbitrary numbers. I'm a raider.
No, our numbers are not arbitrary.
I said I don't.
In direct contrast.
I don't deal.
Okay.
I don't deal in arbitrary numbers. I'm a raider.
Oh, you don't. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, we don't do that here. Rap rankings. No, we stand on this. But then again, this is the first listen. So, as 40's mom always say, It doesn't matter if I'm fucking dripping because this is the first listen.
Listen, as 40 Mom always say, it doesn't matter what your name is, jabroni. That's right, 40's Mom's The Rock, and Drake's a lesbian, as we've come to find out the shocking revelation on this Certified Lover Boy album.
All right, let's move it along. Track 5, Love All. Okay. Okay.
Love All. I mean, I'm sorry, like, what are we going to, like, people like in a coma and asking them what to name songs now? Like, what is this? Who named this? Frankenstein's Monster? Like, what's going on? Yo, Frankenstein's Monster. What do you think we should rate this? Love All. Okay.
Oh man.
This sounds like something like Love All featuring Jay-Z sounds like a Kanye song, let's be honest.
Well, it does actually. But this features Jay-Z. I actually give it a 7+.
I gave it a 6+. This is one of those ones for me that I'm going to need some more time with. Anything I give a 6+ on this album, I feel like it could go up, but I need more time with it because it didn't all the way hit for me on the first go around.
Well, you know what's interesting? I've had more time with it than just tonight because this leaked.
I was going to actually
in a previous form.
Is this the Sound 42 song everyone wanted so bad? Mel?
Sound 42, Need Me. It went by a lot of bootleg titles, but yeah.
I thought another one was called Need Me because he's really talking about
now. What's
Need
interesting
Me a
is,
lot on one of these songs. Need Me. Hold on. I'm going to do something real quick. Need Me.
Okay.
No?
Moulz is doing something real quick, I guess.
All right, whatever. Oh, Not Around. Never mind.
That's on here.
Yeah, that's on here too.
Unfortunately. But we're getting there.
Did you like this song before Jay-Z got added to it?
I did.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this. This was it originally leaked with Love All, and so like it had like straight out of Pro Tools, like the freaking
Why'd they change the title?
Well, no, they didn't change the title. The leakers changed the title. So when it leaked, it was Love All, in parentheses, Chris de Burgh Noel reference 1A. So like, yeah, it was always called Love All, but yeah. So he added Jay-Z to the song, which was not where I was expecting the Jay-Z feature to be.
Interestingly enough, I did write. I guess I heard the leak of this before Jay-Z was on it, but it didn't make much of an impression on me back then, although I haven't gone back to it till now. It's a moody, kind of slow beat. I'm surprised that this is the beat that Drake chose to do a, quote, bar out session with Jay for. What happened to the musical experimentation?
He didn't do the bar out session.
What's that?
He didn't do the bar out session.
Oh, okay. Was that...
He was supposed the theory he was saying in the interview, like, yo, he wants to finally get a joint with Jay where they're barring out. It's not this one.
I mean,
I guess we're still waiting.
I thought that's what like Pound Cake was, but Jay just hurt himself on that one. I wrote, what happened to the musical experimentation?
I think you just don't like clowns, Moulz.
So we're 5 tracks in.
You don't like cake either. Yeah,
the verse was horrible, Jay. We're 5 tracks in, and I feel like, other than the intro, all that experimentation we saw musically in the intro has completely vanished from this album, for the time being at least. It's just, everything else just feels like pure Drake core sort of music. I thought Jay's verse on here was decent, better than his verse.
It was decent up until a certain point for me.
Okay. It was better than his verse
up until a certain point for me.
On Jail by Kanye, which was his other most recent verse. It's a funny verse, but not a good one. I think I heard him emphasize the word violence like he did.
That
on
was
Death
when
of
the
Auto-Tune.
verse got bad.
Yeah. I wrote
that
here,
was
not
the
really,
exact point that the verse got bad.
Yeah,
for me.
Not really
in the same way that he was on Monster talking about love. I don't get enough of it. Okay.
I think Jay's Monster verse started bad from the moment it started in general. But.
Well, no, I'm just saying the violence line here reminded me of Love on that song.
Okay. Breaking the flow up, basically, and taking it in a slightly different direction. I think I like this slightly better than the leaked version with Jay on it, but it's still kind of slow and not very exciting for me. Musically, I'm just not in love with this one. I think Drake and Jay were fine.
Look, I'll tell you this. So between the leaked version and this one, it's pretty much the same. The mix has more sparkle, I guess. It's less dull. It's a finished record now. Some extra instrumentation I picked up on. He removed my favorite part of the song, which was the switches. You should slide through and get your back, bro. That was the good part. You're going to need me, and I know it.
Well, sacrifices had to be made so that the GOAT could... Hey, New York, the GOAT's on the album. I'm like, wait, the GOAT from season 4?
He took off the catchiest part of the song. I mean, look, ever since it leaked, this song has fluctuated between a 7+ and 8-. I never really took the time to nail it down because it was a leak,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, okay, is Jay going to help? Is he going to finally get it over? No, it's a 7+. Still a 7+.
In my opinion, Jay did help, but not enough.
Sometimes this song is like, it drones on and on to me. Like this flow, it's like, what Drake's doing is on me. It can be kind of droning. Sometimes I'm vibing, as the kids say. It just depends on my mood. I've heard this enough, so this was not a new experience other than J-Verse, which is good up until a certain part. It's another collaboration in the list of weird collaborations between the two. Their track record's odd.
They're weird because there always seems to be one person lagging behind the other person, and it's never the same guy every time.
Yeah, all I'll say, and this sort of ends my commentary on this record. I'll say it's a song you ride around to. It's very vibey, contemplative. Okay. Oh shoot! Before I forget, I've loved this line actually since it leaked. What do you say? Wow, I've been hearing this song for like a year, and suddenly I can't remember. It's late, y'all. You gotta forgive me. Right. Oh yeah. He says, we should sit down before shit turns. Whatever. It's some of my niggas don't love me. Okay, that line. That's the line.
Well, Mel relates to it after all these.
I'm having a stroke
of abuse here on Rab. Can you hit the Biden drop?
I mean, it wasn't a stuttering moment; it was a brain fart. But I'll hit the Biden drop, sure. Here you go.
I can't talk. What do I do?
Some of his redacted.
Mine was I can't think. That was what I was doing. Yeah. This is okay, I had to go to the bad website, genius.com. Pouring out my soul and it might sound crazy. Some of my niggas don't love me. That's the line. I love that line. We all feel like that sometimes. That paranoid, the world hates me feeling. Anyway, final note. I just want to say, in the history of Drake Jay-Z collaborations, Talk Up is underrated. It's fun, it's catchy, the beat's dope. Okay, this Talk Up hate, I'm not standing for it. All right.
The raps aren't great on there, but it's
not great, but it's not a bar out record. It's a club record.
I'd rather them do that
for the most part
and like kind of meet each other halfway than have a pound cake situation again and see
you know what I'm saying?
See an old man throw out his hip on a rap beat.
Anyway, that's all I got. You want to move on?
We have to, contractually, physically, emotionally, timerily.
Okay. Track 6, Fair Trade, featuring Travis Scott. This one's on the border right now, but I'll give it a 7- for now.
I like it more than you. Flat 7. I'm a fair trade apologen right now.
This is a shock to me, actually.
Well, you called it, actually. You called it like a few weeks ago. You're like, Moulz, are you going to put over fair trade now that you have to excommunicate a stupid fuck from your life?
Oh, man.
And I said, very funny. I don't think so. But you know what? I wrote here in my notes. Did I give you my rating?
Yeah, flat 7.
Yeah, flat 7. Another tease song from Drake's IG that never sounded that great to me to begin with, but people seemed hyped to hear it, so let's give it a shot. Apparently, the song samples Oliver's cousin or something.
Yeah,
check cleared.
Charlotte something.
Charlotte Flair. Can we get the check cleared, please?
I mean, she sounds good. I mean,
I like that.
Cleared, I guess.
The sample's fire, honestly. Sample's fucking fire.
Is.
It's one of the best parts of the song. Check cleared, but it was a good check.
You know?
Okay?
I don't understand why you blame me.
Sounded nice to me.
My voice is gone.
That was money. I wrote, it sounds a bit faster tempo-wise than I remember hearing on IG.
It sounds slower to me tempo-wise. And the drums, which is why I'm giving it the 7-. I mean, it was played in his studio over speakers and recorded through his phone.
It sounded slower and shittier to me in the phone.
Okay, well, it sounds slower and the drums are like odd. And maybe it was always like this and I was just listening, through the way he recorded it.
It sounded different than what I remember it sounding like. And I wrote 29, okay?
Oh, yeah, 29. That's my
29.
Okay, 29.
The disembodied 29 is so money. Drake, keep saying random shit like 29, please. You don't know what it does for me, but it's great. Okay, we came from
it's a Moulz Mel inside joke. The promo video for views 29. It's ridiculous.
But the fact that it made another appearance,
29. Yeah, I love the melody with which he delivers it. That and Seaside.
Yeah,
I popped for Seaside because I lived in Seaside, California for a little bit, so I love that line.
You know what? I dig this musically, melodically. Drake's delivery, even though it's not necessarily new ground that he's breaking.
Oh, not at all.
This is pretty catchy. Now just waiting on Trav to come through and ruin this. And then Trav sounded fairly understated at first, and then he woke up, and not that bad. He kind of flows at the end of his verse. He kind of raps a little bit. Good for him.
Really?
I gotta say, this song, it's low-key good.
Okay, well,
7.
I would say the IG preview version was like a 7+, 8- to me.
Wow.
This one, hearing it in its all of its glory.
This is the one. This is the one. This is gonna be a hit.
I don't know, because the Travis part is like very, fake art to me. This feels like the return favor for Sicko Mode, and Sicko Mode's better.
I disagree.
To the tune of like a whole
Sicko.
Point.
This is what I give Sicko.
Would I give it an 8+?
What I give it?
Give Sicko? I don't know, a 6 or something.
Yeah, listen, I like this better than Sicko. This is the real. This is Healtho mode.
Healtho mode. Yeah.
Fair trade. I love that fair trade. A fair trade. You know what I mean?
This feels like maybe the first hit candidate or like radio song, but I can't imagine the Travis part flying.
Edit it out then. I don't care. Get this thing on the radio. It's a fair trade.
Yeah, that Travis fell flat for me on here.
You know what? This is Moulz Mel's Wacky Scenarios. Moulz Wacky Scenario. I'm in one of the Facebook groups for the wrestling figures. All right. I got a online Target.com exclusive DDP. The homie Big Tom. He's got that Chase Macho Man with the yellow tights. That's a fair trade. All right.
Okay.
And this is what's playing while the trade is being initiated. We're exchanging addresses. We're going to let each other know when we're going to the post office. Doing a fair trade. Collectors helping collectors. None of that scalping shit.
Well, no, I don't rock with them scalpers. Actually, a new drop courtesy of Moulz. This is my message to the scalpers, because I haven't been able to get any Stephen Curry basketball cards and no packs recently. This is my message.
From me to you, go fuck yourself.
Standing outside a Target, grown man, taking
kids, going
trading cards from kids,
following people
them,
home. Following people from their home to their workplace.
Listen, pay attention. If you don't know about this collector communities, reseller, scalper community, folks, just go to your local big box. Just see them. Like, well, you probably can't anymore because they stopped selling them at the big box.
Right, because these fucking people would just stand around,
linger
around. They're fucking hunched over, just these fucking mutants. Honestly, these despicable people. Despicable. Listen, you want to buy one extra figure to eventually pay for the figure you're buying, you'll charge double. That's fair. That's just the way it goes. You motherfuckers
These
buying
people
up
show up,
10,
camp out,
15,
and then clear the rack within minutes.
Buying the whole fucking box of figures, then going to
Scumbags.
eBay and putting them up for $100 for a $20 figure. Go fuck yourself. For real.
Listen.
All right, but this is that's why I don't rock with that. I rock with fair trades.
All right. Well,
and I'm a fair trade man.
Yeah, look, the beat is classic Drake, for better or worse.
I'd say
if you want something different from Drake, you're probably not gonna like this beat. If you love Drake for this, then you're gonna love this song. So, yeah, you want to move on?
We got it.
All right, track 7, "Way Too Sexy," featuring Future and Young Thug. Okay, as of right now, flat 7.
7-, Sting Me Baby.
Okay.
I told Mel last week my enjoyment of this song will literally hinge on whether or not it samples
Right Said Fred.
Right, or
and
interpolates.
They did it!
Right Said Fred's "I'm Too Sexy," and they did both. Future does the interpolating, plus we get some "I'm Too Sexy" in like the Right Said Fred vocals peppered in there as well. So they did both. I thought Future is hysterical on the chorus.
He's too sexy for the world. I don't even like the word sexy, and I like the song. Okay.
He has a second verse. It's whatever.
Everyone's verse on here is whatever, except for Drake. Honestly.
Drake's was, I agree. I said I kind of wish this one leaned a bit more on the actual sample, more than just the original vocals and the interpolation. But I'm a man of my word, and I am still pleased and entertained. Thugger up last. Honestly, Thug is so whatever to me on here, but I think Drake delivered and Future delivered on the chorus. This has a light endorsement for me, I wrote.
I feel you. I mean, it's a flat 7 for me right now. If this would have had 2015 Future and Thug, this might have been like an 8+ for me.
And then the end of the song, there was like this video game sound transition where things kind of get fully screwed up, slowed down, and we're in this like kind of a musical space, like 40s outer space transition at the end of the intro.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads us into the next two tracks.
Oh, we're getting there, but yeah, listen, Drake is sending good messages to the youth. Way too sexy to go unprotected. That's great. Really catchy Papi flow, like where he was like, "That's right, okay," whatever he was saying, that was dope. Talking about that diamond in his tooth.
I was wishing that
personality raps.
Future and Thug should have kind of followed Drake's lead a little bit more on this one. I'm not even playing around. Like, it's funny that people, when like What a Time to Be Alive came out, people were like,
Future's washing Drake.
We need the Future only version if possible. And on this one, it's like Thug and Future, 2015's co-MVPs basically, are just total afterthoughts on here. At least Future earns his keep with the chorus. Thug had no business on this song. I'm sorry. He just adds nothing.
Bro.
I want 2013, 2014, 2015, even early 2016 Thug as much as anybody, but this could have been anyone, let's be honest. He brings nothing special to the table here.
2015 Thug was my lover. Okay, that was my hubby. When I was in the car on the verge of tears, Rastafari smoking on Mama, I'm sorry. Okay, that Thug is great to me. Outstanding. But I just,
What's that? That Wood?
Yeah, Wood. It leaked as Mama, I'm sorry. But it came out as Wood.
We do the officials if we can.
So yeah, listen.
So there you go. Like, if you haven't heard our other shit, there was a point in time where we were getting clowned on for liking Young Thug.
We were the people who were there when they were still like, yo, he's trash. He dresses like a girl and all that. I remember there's video evidence of Moulz and Mel and Daniel Ochoa, the biggest bozo, shout out to Daniel, in his house dancing to I know There's gonna be good times. Trying to get Thug over to these guys.
Summer of
they were looking at us like we were
2015,
crazy.
And they're looking at us like, yo, are these guys on meth?
Same people running around talking about so much fun is great. No. You new to the Church of Thugger. I don't want to hear from y'all with this so much fun. That came out before our show started. But folks, so much fun. You don't have to lie. It's not great.
Come on, anyway. It's not living up to the unbridled creativity and freedom that
Bro, it ain't
he
no
was
Butter
showing
6.
in his feed.
It ain't
Come
no
on.
Slime season 1 or 2. Just stop it, please.
Come on,
stop
guys.
it.
It's not even it's not even holding a candle to his earlier shit. Like, come on, let's be real.
Anyway, yeah, listen, Drake talk about diamond popped out, almost swallowed 60,000. You know, he's got that diamond in his tooth. That was funny. You a turned up little thought. I popped at that line. This is nasty man Mel music. This is Big Mel, as my friends know me as. That's my alter ego where I'm not a virgin and I'm cool. Yeah, everyone's just kind of here except for Drake. I wish the beat, like you said, leaned more into the Right Said Fred thing. It's good triumphant music though. I'm not sure if it's a hit. I get the sense they shot a video. We know. I think he's gonna push it as a hit, but it doesn't feel like a hit. They didn't fully take advantage of the hit that it could have been. And as far as Future and Thug's performances, my last note is this is exactly what I was afraid of when these features were announced. That like they do modern day Future and Thug things and just mail it in. So
you know what I would have preferred, honestly?
What's that?
If the beat leaned more in that direction and he did something with Sada Baby for it, because that's way more. That feels like that's so much more in the wheelhouse.
Sada, oh my god, that would have been. Oh my god, wow!
With a real really leaning heavily into the Right Said Fred sample.
Oh man, he would have been on here too sexy. It would have. Come on. Oh my God. Look, we tend to stay away from that fantasy booking, but you just did something to me, and now I'm upset that he's not on the record. What can we do? Whatever. Anyway. Now I'm sad. Is there anything else to say about this?
Yeah, I got nothing else either. Like I said, the lightest of endorsements as of right now.
Yeah. Look,
it delivered on the promise that I thought, okay, if it's called this, I hope it's this, and it's basically that. But they could have leaned into it a little bit more.
Yeah, didn't realize its potential fully, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I guess we can move it along to track 8, TSU.
Yes,
known in the leak circles and as Not Around. Another one that's been out for a while.
I wrote on this one. Is this the Not Around song people wanted real
Not
bad?
Around. Yeah.
So do you know who this is, Mel, up top?
Sounds familiar, but I can't say I do for sure. Who is it? Well, first of all, you should probably give ratings. To my surprise, 6+.
Okay, flat 5 for me here. Up top is Michael 5000 Watts, who's also known as DJ Mike Watts. If you're familiar with like Swishahouse.
I'm familiar with Swishahouse.
He's a staple of Swishahouse. And he'll be the one that'll do the chopped and screwed versions of the Swishahouse albums. I know that voice anywhere, but musically it sounded almost Eminem-ish with the rain, the strings coming in, everything felt very dramatic. But then the beat dropped and it was your average trap adjacent ambient rap beat with a way too loud hi-hat in it.
Bro, since it was okay, here's the thing with this Not Around. It's the one that all the stans love. It's always been good to me, but yeah, they were talking like, oh, it's a hit. He needs to drop this as a single. It's not single worthy. It's too slow. It's never been a single to me. And it especially can't be now with this long Swishahouse man at the beginning. Okay.
He can't let the message board
long
people,
talking Swishahouse man, not long. That would have been.
I really think like between Dark Lane demo tapes and the sort of like the leak group sort of forcing his hand in that one, and then certain songs that have been circulated around as leaks, making it on the album as like finalized songs with additions to them and whatnot, really feels like you got to stop letting the internet forum fanatics of your music sort of fantasy book your album for you.
Well, this is one where
demands.
I don't think it was so much that this was always planned for it, but it just took a life. It took on a life of its own. This record, you know,
right.
And I never really understood the hype. I like the weak version better because I guess the one I had, it just kind of goes, yeah, we back, though, and then it goes right into the song instead
with this intro though, with all the dramatic music behind Mike Watts. I'm expecting a dramatic sounding beat, and then it just sounds like the same melodic sing-songy stuff, you know, and the typical beat we were hearing on tracks 3, 4, and 5. And I had to ask on here, are we not burnt out on this already? What differentiates this from any other Drake song from the past 7 years?
Look, man, the only thing that really drives this record, the NSYNC sample is cool. That's the only part of the beat that I like. Well, the first beat, because there's another beat switch. Because, look, y'all kids, this is one of the worst new trends. Every song don't need a beat switch, man.
At a certain point, if everyone's going to have it, then the beat switch no longer has...
Well, not only that, but at a certain point, every song on the album has a beat switch. Then just make it a different song. Like,
yeah, and it kind of kills... The point of a beat switch is it's supposed to only happen once or twice an album, so... those moments are specifically highlighted, and it's like, oh, it's like a moment as opposed to kind of just the general way of doing things. I wrote that this almost feels like a less energetic and less catchy God's Plan, but about a girl who has no parental influences. I'm bored again. Beat completely slows down and goes into the 40 zone during the last minute and a half to 2 minutes with some ho ass singing.
Look, we got classic toxic patronizing Drake content wise. You know, daddy is not around. I watch kind of the top of the pole and then get to sliding down. Like, okay, right. Okay, you know, look, I'm not even trying to be a contrarian to the people who love this record. I like the leak version. It's like a 7+ for me, but this
was the beat switch not on the leak, Mel?
No, it was not. And okay. I don't like that part at all.
Well, that's what brought it to 5 territory for me, because it was really just a 6 like the tracks 3, 4, and 5 were for me. Well, 4 was a 4, actually, but never mind. It was the 2 minutes of the pace that we're moving at on the second half of this thing that I'm like, I'm really feeling nothing. I'm feeling boredom, if that's something.
Look, at this point in the album, I'm thinking, okay, we're not going to get a classic. Oh, well, you know, at this point, he's missed too many times for this to be a classic percentage wise, you know? So it's like, hey,
I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. The promise that I saw on track 1, I've yet to see repeated to that level again on this album, either musically or rapping wise, but there's still a couple good songs, I guess.
Yeah. Look,
I'm not out of hope at this point.
No, but it's too early to be out of hope, but
I've dashed any hope of this thing being...
The window has closed for like a stone cold classic.
It's not happening.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a line in the second part that I did, like, we came from a broken home, and it's like, oh, yeah, you know, what did he say? It was albums ago where he was like, divorced or something. I forgot. I don't know. It's late. I can't remember. He was like, who isn't divorced or whose parents aren't divorced or something. I don't know. That reminds me what I wanted to say during the Bible song. The best Drake spirituality line is, you know, I'm not even Christian. I still went to church that year. You know, that was good. That was the best one, where he actually acknowledged that it would be preposterous to be talking the way he's been talking about.
Lately, he's been talking like
he's Christian these days.
Like there's a mega church that he's planning on opening or something.
Oh man, turn that page ass to
the church
book of he has to yeah. Anyway, all right. Can we move on? You want to move
on? Yes.
Not around, folks. You begged for it, and it ended up being a dud.
So I gave it a 5, so I mean, feel nothing.
All right. Track 9, In Too Deep, featuring Future. Oh, he's back so soon? Well, listen, to no great effect, flat 6.
6+. I have a lot to say about this one, actually. This samples, Mel, a very slowed down version of one of my favorite rap songs ever. I'm talking a 9, maybe even a 10.
Okay.
Bun B, Get Throwed, featuring Pimp C, Jay-Z, and Young Jeezy. It's from Bun B's debut album, Trill, his debut solo album, that is. Easily the highlight from that album for me. One of my favorite rap songs, that boom, 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 boom. But obviously, the version I'm referring to is faster. So I compared this to, I wrote, this is more of a practice, I think, like what he did with Juvenile's Back That Ass Up, slowing down the, like turning it into a straight up R&B song. So I wrote, Drake is straight up singing and slowed this one down to a glacial pace. Should have put Mike Watts. I wrote, should have put Mike Watts on this one with the Houston sample, and considering how much slower it is than the last one. I wrote, we're going to get flagged if I play Get Throwed, so just look it up yourself. Bun B, Get Throwed from the Trill album. I like that he's not trying to remake this record. He's totally recontextualizing it into an R&B song. And I was very positive about Practice on the Take Care review. I defended that song. I'd be a hypocrite if I knocked Drake for doing the same thing on this one. So what happened? Why a 6+? Well, there's this little break in the song where this guy's talking about Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, and the beat changes, and Drake comes in heavily phasered and auto-tuned to the point where he almost sounds like he's doing a Travis Scott impression. And then Future comes in, very average verse from him. I'm really not into this trap-heavy second half of this song. I dig the Get Throwed flip. Future's on here talking about Demon Time. I wrote, do I have to dub this one for the time being due to the beat switch? I'm not a fan of the entire last 2 minutes of the song. God damn it, 6+.
Oh, wow. I wrote damn it in my notes, too, actually. Because when it came on, I guess this Get Throwed sample you were telling me, the beat came on, I said, now this is a different Drake beat. I wrote, different. Wow. You know?
No, listen to Get Throwed when you get a chance. It's excellent.
It ain't going to be tonight. It's late. But, yeah, when I get a chance.
No, we're getting throwed right now by doing this review at this very late hour. But
I'm dying, literally. My body's shutting down. Look, he ruins it very quickly. He starts spelling, and then I'm like, I'm not sure about his approach. Usually Drake's money in the way he chooses to approach records is usually never an issue.
Records like this, too. I mean, totally in his wheelhouse.
He does this like run-on sentence singing, and it's like, I'm like, you had a stew going with this beat, and you did this, and then the flow just gets bad. He starts like falling off the beat. There aren't any drums until a certain point, and it's like this cheap clap, and I'm just like, oh, what is happening? And I'm thinking to myself, not that the world matters, and I'm like, oh, I can tell the world's gonna love this one. By this one, not just the song, but this album so far. I'm like, they're gonna say this is his classic, and I'm gonna be holding on to nothing was the same, So I feel like they're gonna look at this the way they look at Kanye's Twisted Fantasy, and I'm just gonna be off to the side like, this isn't the classic, but whatever.
Well, this is certainly no Get Throwed, but if they just stayed in that space, it could have gotten a 7-. It was the Future Demon Time stuff and the beat of the second half of the song that ruined it for me, honestly.
Another beat switch. At this point, I'm like, why are these songs on this album as long as they are? They don't need to be as long as they have been so far, like 5 minutes. Like, the beat switch, another one, wasn't needed. And he comes in, like, heavily reverb. Sounds like he was put in a tank. I thought that was kind of cool. But
I didn't like that, man. I thought he sounded terrible.
All right, well,
when he came in, that was when I was saying, like, he sounds like he's trying to do a Travis Scott impression on this one.
It sounds like he was doing one of them daggone, what's that? I almost said Barry Manilow. Who's the dude, the magician that Blaine?
David Blaine.
David Blaine. I thought he got put in one of them sensory deprivation tanks. And he's just. Whatever I'm talking about. I don't know. What time is it? 3:27 a.m. You want to move on?
Not around. Yep. 29, 4 or 5 summers.
Oh,
just all the disembodied
stuff now.
All just the disembodied quotes of the day.
All right. Well, track 10, Pipe Down, flat 6.
7- here.
Wow.
Ding Me Baby. We got that Working on Dying drop up top. So I think they produced I'm Upset on Scorpion.
They did. He did. Whoever it is.
This sounds nothing like I'm Upset. I think it sounds somewhat interesting, honestly, compared to what I'd expect from a beat from the people that made I'm Upset. I find the beat somewhat out of Drake's wheelhouse. So
out of his wheelhouse.
Yeah, this isn't a typical Drake beat compared to some of the other beats on this album. I feel like we're tapping back into like the intro vibes a little bit.
Okay, well, I mean...
Sort of a soulful beat, which isn't totally new territory for him. But I wrote that Drake is doing a melodic sing-songy rap thing. The beat's pretty lush sounding, lots of little layers. I dig the beat and the progression from this production duo, if they are a duo. I wrote Drake's performance is just okay, not outstanding. I would have liked to hear more bars on here and not just the auto-tune melodic raps. It's not bad, but I can feel the emotion coming through in his performance, even if I don't all the way connect. So 7-, driven mainly by the music.
The beat really ain't great to me. It's not bad, but it's just kind of there. I don't know if you clocked it, but he threw in a freaking "She Belonged to the Streets" sample from Future, and I was like, really?
I missed it.
Yeah, towards the very beginning. And I'm just, at this point, I'm like, all right, enough singing now. How many singing tracks have we had in a row? Usually he's better
in terms of stuff like that on this album, Mel, where random samples will sometimes cut in, I do feel like there's a bit of sensory overload going on at points.
I feel like the sequencing on this album isn't as strong as albums have been of his in the past. Like, I feel like we're stuck in this singing portion, this singing suite, and I'm like, okay, enough, and he's...
You remember when I was saying on Girls Want Girls that it's weird that this is track 3, that like it feels like we're a bit too early in the album for stuff like this?
Mm-hmm.
That's been my takeaway on this whole album, apart from the intro so far. The sequencing has not mattered one bit, with the exception of the intro definitely feeling like the intro and being a good starting point. And then I would say like TSU and N2 Deep, kind of with the Michael Watts on TSU and the Houston sample on N2 Deep. Otherwise, I'm not seeing much thought put into the sequencing of things. Things just seem to be coming on. Music just seems to be coming on one after another.
I am tired of Chanel. Singing about Chanel. There are lines on this song that I think should have been on some of them billboards. If he was looking for like, zingers, he's like, what do you say on here is like, if it was ride or die, then you should have been dead right now. I chuckled at that. Why was that not on a billboard? Don't know how many pins it's going to take to get over you. I relate. I absolutely relate to that. He's like, can't believe you put it on your mother's life. This is that like Diamonds Dancing outro toxic BS. It's good. It's good. The beat's not great, but he has some lines here. Angel Eyes giving me hell all night.
Like I was saying, he sounds engaged. I can feel him putting the emotion into those bars that you're referring to. If you can call them bars. I mean, he's not really rapping them, but I'm not all the way locked in with him on here. I actually am just kind of digging the beat. Who knows if that will change, but
I was thinking about it, but listen, this isn't gossip ranking. So when he says your ex can't even look at me, he fell off twice, I was thinking, who could it be? And I was like, what? I don't care. So that's in there. I'm sure people are speculating right now. I haven't checked the internet. I don't want to. At this point in the album, track 10, I said I should have been careful what I wish for with not wanting like the, he can do this in his sleep sort of microwave hits. Cause I feel like, have we not gotten a hit yet? I thought that was going to be a given from Drake. I haven't heard like the single yet. I'm shocked at this point.
I don't think you're going to throughout the rest of this thing.
No, I know.
The closest we came was Fair Trade, man. I hate to say it, because really on any other album, that wouldn't be a hit.
The big shock of this album, we just get it out of the way now, is that it seems devoid of hits, which is insane in a discussion about Drake.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
like,
and it makes sense that you made that More Life connection right before we went live, because is that did that spawn any real hits?
Not really. Good point. I mean, like Passion Fruit was mildly viral,
Right. We got some covers of that. Paramore, I believe. Benny Sings.
Benny Sings. That's great. The Benny Sings version is great.
Every cover is better than the original when it comes to that one.
Yeah, it's odd with this album, but we're working through it. Yeah, I'm working on dying right now. You gotta hurry up before I flatline in the middle of this episode. You want to move on?
It's needed, so needed,
okay.
And we can keep it real quick on this next one.
Track 11, Yebba's Heartbreak. I don't know if I pronounce it Yebba, featuring Yebba. It's basically an interlude. Sorry, Yebba, flat 5.
Yebba Debba Doo, 6-. This is all Yebba, just her singing over the
in the vein of 4422 from Sanfa on More Life, or like Summer's Over interlude from Magic Jordan on Views. It's like the little suite that he gives people. Wednesday night interlude, Party Next Door. If you're reading this, it's that kind of deal. But I'm thinking, oh my goodness, a ballad after all that singing we just got.
Yeah, I gotta say, I pre'd before the review because it was one of the names on the track list I wasn't familiar with. So I checked out Yebba. There's a live performance from 4 years ago that's very reminiscent of this. And then there's the stuff that I've been hearing from her album that feel like more songs with a little bit of a backing beat or something, something pretty good. The ballad, hey, no disrespect. It's all right. I don't really see the point here. I wrote, is this album not long enough? This just feels like superfluous window dressing. And yeah, not unlike that Sampa nonsense from More Life. This just does not need to be here. And now
I like 4422.
In the now infamous words of the Captain Moulz himself, I will say it's not the venue for this. Thank you.
Well, then let's move it along to track 12, No Friends in the Industry. 7+.
Can I get the AJ Styles drop, please?
Not
for you, but for this.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Here you go. AJ Styles, take it away.
That's cap. Totally cap. That means lie.
Drake, let me ask you a question.
Oh, God.
No Friends in the Industry on an album with a feature on damn near every song. Okay, listen. I get it. All right, 6+.
Wow. I was thinking the Tempo Man was going to show up. We got our first injection of energy after
No, there's some energy on Fair Trade. Tracks. Come on. What are you doing?
It was... I don't know about that.
We know about you. You don't like fair trades.
And even if you count Fair Trade, that was 6 records ago.
You don't like fair trades. You're a scalper.
I like the songs. It's 7-. I liked it more before it ended up on the album. But yeah, no, that was still 6 tracks ago. So, he comes in and I'm like, I'm like, thank God, finally, we got some energy. He popped me by saying the title immediately. It's like, No Friends in the Industry. It's like the part in the movie where they say the name of the movie, happened right up top. Very Scorpion energy on this record.
Agreed.
This actually feels like a Scorpion outtake. Should have been on
Moulz Mel Connect. In my notes here, I wrote, Drake is doing a voice/delivery. I haven't heard from him yet. This beat is bordering on being interesting, but it's not all the way there for me. Is this supposed to be the non-stop of this album? This definitely wouldn't have felt out of place on Scorp, I wrote here. Kind of short. It's okay. Maybe it'll grow on me. Yeah, the beat is pretty interesting to me for what it is. Drake, though, I don't know. Gonna need some more time with this one, I wrote.
It's one of the many dedicated Kanye sub records. Obviously it's a diss. He's still going with this.
He can't stop. I mean, we'll talk about that more on the timestamp record, I'm sure.
Much like his verse on Betrayal, it's arguable whether he's saying yay or yeah, but he's like, yeah, you hit us up and now we owe you something back. There's a Sha'Carri Richardson reference,
which guarantees that this shit was recorded sometime in the last 5 weeks.
No, I would say sometimes in the last like
3 weeks,
couple 2 to 3.
Yeah.
He's sending shots at Ye, talking about his camp. Your niggas fuck with me. I give him motivation. Better not make this shit about the numbers. I really enjoyed. He was like, something with all that smoke, nigga. The way he said nigga was great, very impactful. He mentions Peoria legend Richard Pryor. I love that. But really, I'm pleading for him to get direct because we got enough of this on Scorpion. It just do it or don't do it, Drake. I would prefer you to not do it at all at this point. But if you're gonna keep doing this, then just say his name and just
718-635-0743. Call in. Are you tired of this beef? As tired as I am of it?
That's the Rap Rankings hotline, by the way, folks. Real number. Call in, leave a message, let us know what you think. For now, 7+. I appreciate
This could go up for me. This was anything I give a 6+. Definitely has the potential to go up for me on future listens. This one, because there was some interesting stuff going on in the beat, and I liked how Drake opened with his delivery, but then he kind of went into just regular Drake-isms about halfway through.
Look, the Cold War continues. That's all I know.
And where's Asuka when you need her? You got her?
Oh, Asuka. Shout out to Asuka. Yeah. I guess this is your feeling about the Cold War, right?
At this point, yes.
Okay. Asuka, take it away.
We don't care!
All right. You want to move on?
Yes.
Track 13, Knife Talk, featuring 21 Savage and Project Pat. Oh, man. 6+.
Moulz Mel Connect.
Wow.
6+.
This was a letdown for me because here's the thing. 21 Savage, as far as I'm concerned, is the feature king. Okay. I can just since 2018, I'd say for years now. King. Like he's money usually on like every feature. He usually saves records for me.
I gotta tell you, he's the weaker part of this record to me.
I think everybody was weak here. Everybody. The beat's not great.
I have to say also, this is not a featuring Project Pat situation.
Oh, was that just like an interpolation or not? No, it's like a sample.
It's an acapella from his verse on Juicy J's song "Feed the Street," which is only like a couple years old. It's not even a classic Project Pat.
All right. Well, yeah, the beat's not great. It's sort of slow, and I guess sinister. 21 Savage is on it, but
I wrote here, Mel. Beat is nothing special. Piano trap. Drake not doing.
There's like a violin that they add that kind of spices it up a bit.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're 100% on locked in together on this one. I wrote, I hate when they credit features to a sample. 21 opens up with the classic Project Pat flow, same one you hear sampled on this very song. Beat is nothing special, piano trap. Drake not doing the Project Pat flow, doing the Drake thing instead. The violin that came in during his verse makes the verse pop a bit more. 21 back in doing Project Pat thing again. Drake comes back in again, so they're trading verses now. I wrote not so sure about this. Like the last one, gonna need more time. 6+.
It was a 7- and it dropped to a 6+ by the end. It's just
the violin was the best part.
To 21's credit, he did give me his like obligatory line that made me laugh out loud. Chopper hit him and he turned into a booty clapper. That was very funny to me. But I didn't get like the classic, like 21 just showing out, just like still in the show, So 21, you did give me my moment, but nothing.
So far, looking back, none of these songs, none of the features are really killing it for me.
Yeah, I mean,
I could do without so far every single feature, and maybe I would even like some stuff more without them.
I do like the line, I fuck with her, and her. I said, me too. But he's shooting himself in the foot with line like, I tell the coach, don't take me out. I like to finish things. Don't do that to yourself, Drake, in the middle of this Cold War, because the narrative. Everyone thinks you lied about having a diss and Jay Prince saved you and all this other stuff. So don't keep relitigating this and just like either say it or don't say it anymore, man. I'm saying this because I'm on your side. Okay? Don't do this. Anyway, and then at the end of the record, they throw like a piano at the end, which is weird because this isn't like, it's just like...
Because it's a piano trap,
Well, it wasn't a part of the beat. It was like its own, like, little intermission, which leads into the next track.
You gotta do a switch. You gotta switch it up. Switch. What's that, Will Smith? Switch?
Turn around now, switch. It's like a 7+.
That's what Drake was. That's what Drake was doing to 40 while 40 was trying to finish this album a year ago. Oh, we need a switch os. The beat os needs a switch os.
All right. Well, you want to move on?
Yep.
All right. Track 14, 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. We
got
another timestamp.
It ain't a fucking timestamp. He's gonna run out of times eventually.
Timestamp over here.
He can only do 24 timestamp records.
Oh, because they're only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to repeat an hour.
Oh, you can't repeat hours. You can't repeat hours. No. Well,
it's different if the location is different.
Nah, you can't be repeating hours.
Let me tell you, I can tell you, 12 p.m. in Peoria was much different from 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. in San Diego. Okay, there's a difference. All right.
Well, it ain't happening. He only gets to do one number per song.
Well, he gave us a morning record, 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. That's, I believe, his street or somewhere in his neighborhood. Flat 8.
Flat 7 for me. Ding me, baby.
I'm just happy to report the timestamp legacy has been preserved for me. But it's not quite reaching my favorite, which is 4 p.m. in Calabasas.
I don't love 6 p.m. in New York. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one you don't love.
I don't love that from If You're Reading This. And I'm not the biggest... not 9 a.m. What is it? Toronto?
Yeah, Moulz. Listen, timestamp fans, Moulz got some wild takes. He doesn't like that 5 a.m. in Toronto, which is kind of the one that solidified the series as like something to watch out for, like one of his calling cards, But yeah, this is somewhere near the top for sure.
This is not 4 p.m. levels for me. Not close.
Yeah, 4 p.m. is the greatest one. That might be a hot take. I don't know.
If 30 for 30 is considered one, I'd put that over this one. This one's pretty good though. Flat 7.
The flows are dope. He's flowing. He broke out of like the static droning thing.
Let's quickly talk about the beat here too, Mel. This beat, there's an
I need a better beat.
There's an element in this beat. It's like a cheerleader or like an army chant or something. And I think that subverts it from feeling like your average timestamp type beat. So like, to me, that sound in there, Gold Watch by Lupe?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes when you put like a weird, almost distracting sound in the beat, it can be jarring at first, but then that could be what makes the beat interesting and stand out and different from the norm. Like, I would say the Working on Dying song in the intro, that's the kind of stuff, and part of that first half of what he did to Get Throwed on that, what was that called? N2D?
Yeah.
Like, those are what I want to hear from Drake now, because we've heard so much of the other shit from him at this point. So I'll take any diversion or subversion of that. I feel like, though, bar-wise, the bars on the intro were a little bit harder for me. This is a first listen, though. Those intro bars felt a little harder to me. And a bit, like, I was saying, like, some of them were a little bit harder for me to catch in real time. I caught some shots on Kanye and that Justin LeBoy idiot on here.
Fucker respectfully.
You gotta love that.
I love that shot. Oh, right. Boy, did I love it.
Drake sounds a bit more focused on Energized than his Views performances on this one. That is kind of going back to what you're saying about kind of getting locked in to certain flows for extended periods. He definitely sounds locked in. I love this. I could give a fuck about who's designing your sneakers and tees. At that point, I just said, yeah, it's a major Kanye diss. I guess the beef continues, but he brought some thorough bars to this one. I'm not going to front. This is a pretty good one.
For those of you, let me put my Drake enthusiast cape back on. Yo, for y'all who say the boy ain't got no bars, okay, this is a prime example of him barring out. Man's, yo, let me hit the drop.
I mean,
but it all boiled down to this. We talking lyrics, rhymes, line for line.
Okay, this is one of those. It's
I
one
would
of
say
them
that
ones,
this one, and I mean, listen, first listen, I don't care. The intro and the outro, don't question his abilities.
Don't question the boy's pen. Don't do it. What did 40 say?
Well, we know about his pen.
Don't question his pen.
We don't know about the pen. We don't know.
I've seen him write. What did 40? I've seen him write on the toilet in Hardee's, like something crazy, you know.
But
like
I'll say, whatever it is, however he did it, whatever you want to say about it, don't doubt the performances on those 3 songs. From a rap perspective, it's more, to rapping. You got to fucking sound good. You got to sound locked in. You got to sound engaged. I mentioned Views because what was that song on Views? Weston Road Flows, where he just sounds bored. He sounds checked out.
It's one of those ones where he stays in a flow for like the whole record.
Yes. This song, the outro on this album, the intro on this album, he's very keyed in. He's 100% locked in and engaged. That's what I appreciated about those moments on this album. The whole album, clearly at this point, we're 14 tracks in, the whole thing hasn't been for me. But when he's locked in, I think he's sounding just as good as ever, maybe better than ever at certain points.
You know what's interesting in your case? We've talked in private. You usually don't prefer him to bar out because you say there are rappers that are much better than him.
Yeah, but you know what's happening for me, Mel?
What's that?
His melodies are getting really repetitive. Mm-hmm. His melodically driven songs are musically and sonically, as the kids say, sounding very similar. And at this point, I kind of I have a new objective with him. I want to hear him over different shit, and I guess I'd rather hear him rap at this point. I'm over him as a singer, and I think he's tapped out as there's no hits on this album. You said it yourself.
This is an odd album in that the focus, I can't really... going in, it was up in the air. It's like, all right, is he going to swerve us and give us like a hardcore rap album? Is he going to, kind of lean into the title and give us like a, R&B centric album? It's kind of scattered. Like you can't really pin it down, which is the case with most Drake albums. But usually he goes between them in a much more fluid manner than this album. Yeah, it's he's got bar. The Nipsey bar was dope. 60 in Blue Stones, talking about his watch. The bar, I love the bar. He's like, my songs, like he said they sing them shits like folk songs. That was dope. Dad, if you're listening, had to pull my niggas out the mud like I'm training Marines. That was amazing. That was great. He got at Kanye directly. Well, as direct as I guess he's going to get, you playing with my seed, obviously referencing the "you are hiding a child" bars. Talking about Kanye posting things out of desperation. He was out rapping the beat. I think the raps were better than the beat, and that's a rare occurrence to out rap.
He's out rapping the beat, but the beat has that interesting element running through it that makes it at least not... It was the beat's so typical Drake, if not for that weird sample running through it. So I at least commend whoever added that in there for giving us something different. That's all I want from this album, is Drake not doing the same shit that he's been doing for the past 7 years. So even if it means you having to throw some musical curveballs in there and just have him have to adapt to those, fine. Just as long as I don't have to hear him over trap beats or doing the whoa ass singing anymore. All right, we just want to come on. We got to shift the paradigm, right? We gotta discover new trails that need to be blazed.
Well, let's blaze it. Perfect thing to blaze a trail on. We're racing now. Track 15, "Race My Mind." The leak was known as "Intoxicated." This is one of the leaks that's held up. Surprisingly, I didn't know it was going to end up going in, but 7+.
7- for me on "Race My Mind."
So listen, keen eye wouldn't work. Keen-eared listeners may have noticed he's basically just modernizing the Rick James song. Came home last night, didn't make love to me. That's what he's doing here. Same thing. Just got off the phone and I can already tell, coming home intoxicated.
Now this is one of those leaks. You send me his leaks. This is one that I just listened to once and didn't go back to according to my play counts.
Well, because the leak had a whole open like verse. It was just one verse and a hook, and that was it.
I wrote that the beat itself had a little bit of movement to it, like Fair Trade did, despite it not being something entirely out of the ordinary musically for Drake. That Biggie acapella shows up in the mix. Drake is singing. I guess this is
sweet. Yeah.
I said, I guess this is an R&B song, but over a more hip-hop beat. It's okay. It's a little catchy. We'll see if it grows on me. And then I wrote, ooh, the second half 40 flip with some straight raps. Sounds with a weird beat. And as far as the 40 part 2 beat switches go, I definitely prefer the first beat, but I like that this song has the catchy singing, an up-tempo beat up top, and the atmospheric and cinematic 40 stuff with some straight raps at the end. This was a 6+ with just part 1, but with the addition of this part 2 fleshing out the full record, I'm getting this one over.
This is one where Scent Mel was activated because, you know, I mean, I'm always activated. I'm Scent Mel, but, you know, you gonna make me beg, make me plead. It's lines like that where I think about them girls that, you know, running over my feelings like they drinking and driving in an 18-wheel. It's one of them records, you know? Okay, I'm connecting with it, if you will. I'm thinking, yeah, like you were saying, it's kind of catchy. Is this going to be one of the singles? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. I mean, when Sicko Mode came out, I was like, there's no way this becomes a hit because of the beat switch.
Sicko Mode being a hit is just indicative of this just being a weird time in culture. Like,
perhaps.
It shouldn't be a hit structurally.
But like, the beat switch made me think there's no way this becomes a hit, but it did. So maybe this one, like I said, it has some movement to it like Fair Trade did. So I could see it. Maybe being a single, but come on, man. Like, the fact that singles aren't outright jumping out at us on this album is weird.
Very weird for a Drake album. You know, that's usually the thing I don't have to worry about at all. I was worried that it'd be too much of that, like the layup, you know, the easy low-hanging fruit, and we haven't gotten it really since, you know. So I like the beat switch here, actually. Well, before I go to the switch, better beat mix here than the leak, which makes sense. You know, it was a leak, it wasn't finished, but the vocals sound kind of buried compared to the leak. You know,
wow, so the mix is better on the leak?
No, it wasn't better because the beat mix is better here on the official version. It's just the vocals are a little low, you know. So the beat switch happens and he's rapping and he does another thing like in I believe track 1 where he's rapping with his chest out. Like, his tone is very dope. Very what's the word I'm looking for? Commanding.
Right.
He's got some lines, you know, hating on Wi-Fi they don't pay for. That's great. Shout out to my man Steph Curry. You know,
I really like that Drake sounds awake and alive on this album.
That's a good thing.
If you want to talk about him not sounding awake and alive, views more life. I mean, enough said. He sounds on the rapping songs. He sounds checked out on those.
Yeah, he's checked in here rap wise for sure. The flow's dope. He's doing like the good toxic bars. Our final note is the outro part where it kind of gets, you know, wall of soundish. Might need a better mix, but then again, I don't know. It was first listen. It could be fine. I ain't even heard it in the car yet, so yeah. That's all I got. You want to move on?
Yep.
All right. Track 16, Fountains, featuring Thames. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but we're in good shape. 7+.
This one was hard one. This is a hard one for me because I pre'd Thames earlier. We'll get into it. 6+.
Wow.
All right. Wow. So listen,
this was the clearest hit candidate so far, I'd say.
I'll tell you why it's not.
Okay.
Thames, I checked her out earlier, okay? So again, a name I wasn't familiar with going into the album. I kind of like to at least listen to a song from them or watch a video or something, kind of visualize this person, get a feel for what their music sounds like. I checked out her song Damages.
Okay.
I think it's really good.
All right.
I actually recommend people listen to it. Anyways, onto this song, though. I wrote, my God, it's the blem of the album, maybe? And then quickly I wrote, and here's why. The comparison just has to be made, okay? This is nothing like his chemistry that he has with Rihanna.
You ain't have to do that.
It's not even like the chemistry that he has with someone like Popcorn. But Thames sounds good, and the song is decent. It's definitely musically interesting to me, more than a lot of stuff on this album. But I don't like Drake on here. He sounds off on this beat. There may have been... Like, to me, this would have been better served as just a Thames solo record. And I wrote that I am sad I have to dub this one, as I was excited for it after hearing Damages and realizing he'll probably never do a record with Rihanna again, so this is probably his next best option. And I thought that Thames and the beat completely out-rap Drake on this one.
Wow.
He sounds awkward on this, to say the least. I felt no chemistry, and I felt Drake sounding completely out of place on the beat. If it wasn't for Drake, this would have easily been a 7, maybe even a 7+.
I wholeheartedly disagree. Wow, I think everyone pulled their weight here. This beat, great. You know, this is my favorite singing song so far on the album when it hit. The melody of this beat, completely up my alley. It's a Mel melody all the way. There are lines on here where it's, listen, this is Virgin Mel all the way. I'm just sitting in my room. I'm just,
I haven't had no sex.
You know, fantasizing, thinking about girls, #girls. You know, I can't fathom this life without you.
You saw Vertigo, right? You saw Vertigo.
Oh, the movie? Yeah.
So you know what he does to old girl once, you know, the first girl dies. He wants her to be just like the girl that died. I'm just saying, I think he's trying to go for something here, and it's sad on his part. God. I just want to let it be known once again, Thames is great. I'll actually start listening to her because the song Damages is so good. Drake, I'm sorry, buddy. Rihanna's not going to call you back, okay? And no amount of Thames is going to change that.
You had to do it. You had to bring that up. Drake, if you're listening, that's Moulz. That's all Moulz. I wasn't going to mention her at all. I'm not doing no comparisons. Thames does sound good on here. I look forward to coming back to this record. This could go up to an 8.
Will you
I
give
need
Thames
to
a
hear
chance,
this in the
Mel?
car. I'll check her out.
She's good.
Yeah, this was I like this one. I like this one.
Thames and Sammy Maximin are my 2 favorite artists this year.
Sammy Maximin. You gotta love it.
I'm actually pissed off that we didn't get Billboard saying,
I was telling you,
Sammy Maximin is on CLB.
Look, if y'all don't know about Sammy Maximin, if you don't know, check
you
out
don't know
that
about
God Made a Way.
Oh
it was the song of the summer. Song of the summer.
Song of the summer. I'm hearing Song of the Fall after this album.
I've been low. I've been afraid.
Holy shit, it just hit me. Nothing on this album's rated as highly as God Made a Way by Sammy Maximin for me.
It's true.
Yeah.
God Made a Way is a 9 for me.
Clip it, tag him up. He's got to hear this.
Oh, man. All right. Listen.
Sammy, you outdid Drake, the certified lover boy. You're the new lover boy as far as I'm concerned.
Wow. Well, he's handsome enough for it. It's a handsome man.
Sammy Maximin's better looking than Drake. Let's be real. Wow. The guy's a model. All right? Come on. Let's not even go there. Okay? Because we didn't ask to go. This is the first listen. Okay? Sammy, we love you, baby.
Drake's listening right now to Moulz and Mel. Like,
yeah, it's all good, man. Listen, you could debate and analyze. You could go on ESPN.com /message boards / we don't give a shit. And you could comment on there.
All right, well, hit him with the whoopee then.
Wow, Moulz fires back with the whoopee. Whoopee, take it away.
Okay.
And with that said, you want to move on?
I do.
Okay. Track 17, Get Along Better, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Another one that was leaked, but like in snippet form. I didn't even realize it when I saw the title on the track list that it would be that song. But flat 7.
6-.
Yeah, it came out as a snippet, and it was like just the one line. Trust
this whole fucking album's leaking all over the place, Mel. We've had some of these songs for months.
I get along better with your friend.
I don't like that we've had so much of this for so long. and yet the album was still an hour.
Well, to his credit, most of it is changed. So
yeah, okay.
The only thing that really didn't was, well, I mean, he added the whole beat switch to Not Around that I don't like, but yeah, it came on. I said, oh, I know this one. This is that Get Along Better with Your Friend. He has some lines, hold me in these trying times. This is what In Too Deep should have been for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some cool storytelling, which we don't get from Drake that much. Like, it's a good build up to the climax.
At least the R&B portion of In Too Deep, like that first half, I like better than this, definitely.
Okay, well, I think this is good R&B. I like it. I
enjoy hearing
Drake
with one element specifically.
Okay.
I wrote, this is the first time that they went for something different musically a bit, and I straight up do not appreciate the left turn. No, musically, if I had to compare it to anything in Drake's catalog, it's kind of like Keep the Family Close with a very obnoxious hi-hat randomly in the mix that only pops up every go-round, So this is a straight-up R&B song. I think the hat is really fucking this one up for me. It takes away from the lushness of the music itself. The snare is also a tad annoying. So there's musical elements here I don't like in the production. I wrote that this is maybe the closest that Drake has ever come to straight up making adult contemporary. So maybe that one little hi-hat is there to youthify things just a bit.
Youthify.
At this point, I literally thought to myself, where is the Running on Empty drop? LOL, we're not recording yet. Ty Dolla's contributions.
Do I have to hit it?
Yeah.
Wow, the Running on Empty. Huh? I mean, I won't have to hit it this review at all, so here you go.
This is Running on Empty.
Ty Dolla's contributions are minimal, to say the least. I barely even noticed him until the last 45 seconds or so.
Wow. Well, I agree there. He's barely on here. Much like Jaded, so, and I like Jaded a lot, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. It's a cool R&B song. You want to move on?
Yep.
All right. Track 18, You Only Live Twice, which is sort of like, I guess this is a YOLO sequel.
Right.
Featuring
also,
Lil
a
Wayne
pretty good
and
James
Rick
Bond
Ross.
movie, if we're talking Bond rankings.
James Bond? Okay. Bond rankings, another day. Yeah, featuring Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, 6+.
7-.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shock to me.
I had an interesting take, I thought, on this, though.
Okay, what is it?
So we open up with a Maybach music drop and a very like Justice League, the Olympics, the Incredibles.
I feel like I've heard this beat a million times.
Dude, I wrote that this would have not felt out of place on any of the last 6 Rick Ross studio albums.
Exactly.
I've heard this beat
a million times.
It's only right that Rose leads. He's fine. Bullet wounds won't be covered by
Obamacare. Made
stands
me
out from his verse for me.
Mm-hmm.
Drake sounds pretty locked in and energized. The Swizz Beatz disses cracked me up.
Yeah.
Did you catch those?
That day you sounded like a bitch. You fancy, huh? Yeah.
Classic. Mm-hmm. Listen, I love Swizz, but he was talking wildly out of pocket recently.
He said he's hoping his plane crashed or something.
He deserves to get checked. I wrote, let's see how Wayne does on cleanup. Very pussy-centric verse. Wayne did fine. Jill Scott line popped me. But honestly, he probably has my least favorite verse of the 3 on here. Also, this song could have come out anytime in the last 10 years. This does not sound like a new song to me at all. Nothing new whatsoever, but it's pretty cool. Nobody had a whack verse. Beat was fine. Nothing special, but that should be enough.
Yeah, look, it's very simple. This beat is just like a dime a dozen in the Rick Ross beat store, I feel like. It also kind of muted compared to everything else. Like the mix was, or the master was lower. Something was lower. I feel like I've heard better from all of them. That's pretty much
for sure.
my takeaway. Like,
and I mean, YOLO is a bop, as the kids say. It's a slapper, right?
Well, the motto.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. That's another song that shouldn't be called what it's called. Should just be called YOLO.
Well, I don't think he predicted to be fair, I don't think he predicted YOLO would take off like it did.
Right. So. But either way,
maybe he did, because he did like say it. Like
that song goes in, you ghost ride the whip to that one, you play that in the club. Like you can't do that with this. This is a meat and potatoes record all the way.
Yeah.
Total meat and potatoes stuff. But
yeah.
I thought, everyone did okay.
All right. Well, you want to move on?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Track 19, I Am Y2, or I Miss You Too, featuring Kid Cudi. 6-.
4+, my second least favorite song on the album, behind that atrocity with Lil Durk and Giveon earlier.
You know what? I'm going to hit the drop, even though I don't feel this strongly towards it, but I love the drop. What can I say? And it's been a while. This track 19.
The song, however, I agree. The worst, maybe the worst song in the entire world. Not good. Lyrically, lost.
Question,
the worst song. The lyrics in the song don't make sense.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
Is that XXX Tentacion at the beginning of this song?
I wouldn't know.
It sounds
You're
like
asking the wrong person.
a vocal sample of him from like an interview or something.
I have no idea.
I don't know if that was
I don't really know what dude sounds like. I haven't heard him enough to know.
I'm just speculating because Kid Cudi's on this song. Maybe this was like a mending of Fence's song.
Please.
And with the I Miss You. But Cudi opens the song up. I wrote, are we sure this isn't a Donda song that got hacked into this album? Sure sounds like it could be. Musically, nothing special here. Trap adjacent ambient shit as per usual. Exactly what I don't want to be hearing. This really sounds like a Cudi song featuring Drake. I can truly do without this. Truly. And then I just wrote finding myself. Because Drake says finding myself. I wrote LOL. This is a 35-year-old dad talking here, people. And that's all my notes. I hated this one. Well, I didn't hate it, but I don't like it. It's stupid.
It ultimately wasn't worth the pop of the Kid Cudi feature being revealed. It's like, oh, I guess they patched it up. And listen, as a guy who just recently, in the past few years, came around on Kid Cudi after despising him.
I'm fine with them patching it up. I kind of like Kid Cudi. I think these two guys, given their track record, should have done a lot better on this one.
Absolutely. Listen, Kid Cudi, I no longer despise you like I used to, but this reminds me of why I didn't
I'm
like
cool
you.
with Kid Cudi. His song Kitchen is like a 9, maybe 10 for me. One of my all-time favorites.
All right, relax.
Mel, Kitchen?
I don't go in the kitchen.
It's from Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying. You check that album out?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we know about you. You ain't no Pete Davidson.
I'm not. I'm not one of those Kid Cudi save my life people, and I have been known to laugh at them, but hey, I respect him now, so that counts for something. I didn't understand like his first 4 to 8 lines. He sounds like mushmouth. I don't know what he was saying. It was cool to see that he made the album, but this song is just a complete misfire.
Hey, listen, I hope they remain friends and they make better songs together.
Yeah, basically. That's how I feel, and that's all I got to say.
They should be making better songs together with their specific skill sets.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say, man. Best of love to both of them. You want to move on?
Yes. We're almost done. Right. Damn.
We are.
I'm not damn as in upset, but we're doing pretty good, I think. Making good time.
Sponsored by Lipton. There's money on the line here. We got to appease the sponsors. Track 20... Fucking fans. 6-.
Flat 6.
Wow, you like this more than me.
Oh. I guess.
Look, man, I don't have much to say. It came in, I said, okay, sounds like Party next door in the background. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's definitely Party. The writing,
why is he the only person to not get credited on here?
I don't know.
Featured.
He put the Wayne billboard up in Toronto.
Wait, he's the one that put the billboard up, like physically?
No, I'm saying Party wasn't mentioned. You'd think he would have been on the Toronto billboard, but it was Wayne.
Oh, okay. I thought literally it's like, nah, they couldn't put him on the billboard. He was the one putting the billboards up, dude. He's working he doesn't make music anymore. He's a billboard guy now. He puts billboards up for Drake.
Went downstairs in the OVO compound and was like, yo, Party, could you do me a favor? Oh man, listen, look, it sounds like a Party song.
Hashtag free Party.
Leave him there. It doesn't matter. He seems fine. All right. I just said, And I'm like, yo, are there no hits on this album? This is what I wrote here. In the
notes.
Know
that the Remorse is not going to be a hit. It's a The record.
Well, right, because it's a The record. The Ride,
the Calm,
the
Resistance, all the Thus.
All the Thus, you know. So I mean, the second part of the song, I say it's cool. Saved it from a 5+. The beat and the content. And that's really all I gotta say. It's just
okay.
That's that on that. So.
I wrote the song title that immediately jumped out to me when Drake put out that chicken scratch earlier on IG. It's the first song I noticed. Sounds like outer space R&B. I think it's pretty interesting musically, though a bit slow. Mario Galaxy style. Oh man, his chorus vocals sound rough. Honestly, pretty interesting beat, but I'm just not loving Drake's performance very much. And then I wrote, ooh. Another outer space type beat drops in halfway through.
Man said, ooh.
A little more up-tempo, but definitely still spaced out. Not rap, though. Still melodic sing-song rapping. I guess this is Drake's, quote, reckoning with, quote, toxic masculinity, end quote. Talking about out of his 20s, still living foul. Yeah, we know. Letting some of his insecurities out. Sad he has a kid now. My son. No. He should have rapped on this part and given the song more of an even balance, but it's just R&B beat switch. Why? I thought this would be another 11th hour ratings change, but nah, 6+.
All right. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready to move on to the final track.
Well, if you're rating this, it's too late, right? Because we made it to the final track.
Or you're just in time. I don't know. Track 21, the outro, The Remorse.
Ooh.
I'm glad to say he ends on a strong note. 7+.
Flat 7 for me, as of right now.
I mean, yeah, all this is as of right now. It's the first listen.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, as of right now, we've reached the end. It's the track. We've just brought those up. Are there any more we missed?
Probably. There might be more of the tracks.
I wrote, will he bar out again like he did on a couple of select tracks on this album? Let's see. Piano beat with girls singing ethereally in the background, waiting for beat to drop. It's a 40 bubble drums beat. Diary entry, cult of personality, spilling your guts type record.
Am I wrong to say this is Look What You've Done Part 2 with the worst beat?
Kind of. Musically not out of character for Drake, but he's definitely rapping on this one. I still feel like the intro bars were perhaps the most impressive on this album, but I like that he's getting personal here. He's reaching into his bag of tricks again. It's a The record. I like the Does, I think. The Does are pretty good. I'm not the biggest The Ride fan, but the Calm, the Resistance is pretty good.
Did you catch his Moulz Mel diss?
He's been dissing us throughout this whole album. I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, I don't think so. I think we didn't get dissed until the end. Bet against me, don't know where they get the odds from. Listen, we were worried. Yes, Moulz Mel, of little faith. We were scared for him.
We were understandably, and I think actually ended up talking about this while we were recording our Liquid Swords review, so you'll hear this in more detail there. But the truth is, we are Drake fans, but we're just looking at the numbers. We were looking at the way everything was going, and we were just questioning some things and maybe thinking, I'll tell you a quick story. Shah is coming, by the way, and my friend Shah in school growing up, he was like school president like every year, and he's coming, by the way. So Jesse, you've been talking shit about Shah. It's that's coming to an end very soon, okay? But we got to get through this Wu-Tang shit first. Anyway, so he was always getting voted class president, and then in junior year, we're going into senior year of high school. He's going for the big one, senior class president. That's like the big one, all right? You had to do a speech, a graduation, everything. I mean, it was like the real presidential election, damn near. And I remember, leading up, he wasn't really campaigning. I was like, Shah, what are you doing? And he was like, nah, playa, I got this. I don't need to campaign. Everyone knows who they're voting for. And his arrogance cost him the election, guys. He lost.
Oh my God.
He thought he didn't need to campaign. He thought everyone knew Shah's going to win. I am the president. I wear a suit to school every single day. Shah.
That's what this CLB rollout has felt like.
That's what it's felt like. So I'm just trying to help a fellow Jewish man.
Well, the verdict is out as far as how this is going to perform commercially and critically. But yeah, he seems to think like, he's still firmly in first place, and we'll find out soon. But I mean, I like this 7+. I was expecting more fire here in the outro, like fiery, but he's out rapping the beat again. The rapping is still good.
The intro was the best production-wise and rapping for me on this album. But at least on here and on that, what was it, 7 a.m. in Narnia or whatever it was called? All right. We know about that one. All
7 a.m. in Narnia.
He was barring out on a couple of these songs. You got to give it to him.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah.
Well, hey.
Bought all the Chanel in the store clothes.
What does it come out to for Moulz Mel? It's the first listen.
Hold on. I can't move it.
Oh, you got more? You got more?
Yeah, I was just going to say more subs, more stories we've heard, about his early life before blowing up. The flow's good. I think this is a cool peek at like the top, what it's like to be on the top. Cult of personality, but it works for me. He gave me something that I would expect from Kendrick. This kind of nobody praying for you thing,
Yeah, no one's praying for anyone these days. That's how we end it with. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, anyway,
it's
that's
not obviously this is not going on the board, but I do have my ratings.
Well, right. You want to rate this thing?
We got it.
Okay, so, he got a daggone. This feels weird to say for me, or a Drake album. 12 out of 21, 57% takeaway.
That's an album, 12 songs. I mean, no one told him to make 21-song album. That was his choice.
This is true. 139 points out of a possible 210 for a 66% average. Add that 66 to that 57, you get a Mel rating of a 61.5% weighted, or a 6.1 out of 10. How about you, Moulz?
I got 8 out of 21 songs, so just over a third. That gives me a 38% takeaway. Now, I did have 5 6+ that I would like to go back to. So I would say, my most generous read on this could potentially be a 13 out of 21, or as low as it is right now at an 8 out of 21, 38%. I had 129 points out of an available 210, giving me a 61% average rating. You take the takeaway, you take the average, add them together, divide by 2, giving me a Rap Rankings weighted rating of 49.5% weighted.
Well, that's just a Moulz weighted rating. The Rap Rankings weighted rating is my 61.5 plus your 49.5.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And the Rap Rankings, rated rating is 55.5%.
Wow, 555.
So, yeah.
You know what?
Wow.
Due to the...
Okay, I'm hitting the music. This was all an elaborate ploy for him to get over his proclaimed GOAT, Jay-Z.
And his current enemy, the Cold War.
Wow.
So, we got... if this is not going on the board, but if it were to go on the board... it would be the same score as Watch the Throne, but due to the fact it has more tracks, aka higher margin of error, we always put the album with more tracks, but the same rating above, the one with less tracks and the same rating. So this on the board, if it were going on there today, would be above Jay-Z and Kanye West Watch the Throne, but below Missy Elliott The Real World.
Wow.
At a 55.5%. Is it a classic? No. Does it suck? No. In fact, with a few notable exceptions like that intro, I hate to say it, it really is more of the same.
This has been, my closing thoughts is I walked away and I said, weird. This is the first album where I walked away, first Drake album, I walked away feeling like how I feel walking away from artists that I'm not that enthusiastic about. Usually I'm not this lukewarm on Drake albums, like a little over half. Like I haven't felt this lukewarm since More Life.
No.
And I would say this is hey, if someone wants to know, I think it's better than Dondo, which we chose not to review. Sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful. Donda. I'm not gonna do the rap speak on it, but
you've done it.
I like. If you wanted to know, folks, I only like 4 songs on there. What'd you say?
You've done it a half dozen times and then said you're not going to do it.
Well, it's fine. Donde. There's a nice medium. Donde. There you go. I like 4 songs in there, so this is better than that. But this feels like Drake's Pablo.
I like 6 songs on there. Well, you know, you've been afraid that this is going to be your Black album, meaning, you know, I was a diehard Jay-Z fan.
Well, it might be, though, statistically. Let me see what you gave the Black album. This might be one where, like, kids in the future are like, yo, it's a classic. I'm like, nah, you missed the real classics. You know? Let me see.
Black album, I gave it a 57.5%.
Okay. Well, I gave it a 61.5. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
you know, if you're just listening now for the first time, I used to be rabidly into Jay-Z, and I celebrated the man's entire catalog. Black album came out, and, like, I liked half of it, and I just felt he was beginning to get lame and out of touch. And you know what happens next, so I don't have to tell you. Because all of a sudden, 2 years later, everyone came around to me.
I'm sorry.
On that Kingdom Come, and people were saying to me, yo, maybe you were ahead of your time with that Jay fell off shit. It's like, yeah, okay. Go listen to your Black album, okay?
Well, you know, I think Black Album's a classic. But, you know.
Yeah, me too. Metallica's the Black Album. I agree.
Oh, dear. Yeah, look, this has been the review. I think we made great time. I think we did what we had to do.
I think we did
Drake,
right.
I'm still mad at you for inexplicably screwed us over.
You fucked us over. You fucked Jesse over. You fucked the world over. Let's be honest. But
weirdo.
That intro was tight,
Elliott Wilson posting billboards and.
All right, Elliott Wilson. We're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss Drake. Your album. It was okay. It was all right. It was not good, but it was not terrible.
Listen, was this worth the wait?
No, because there was no In My Feelings. There was no like, oh, there's a hit on this album.
I don't even mean like just looking for hits, but I just feel like, was it worth the wait? No, but oddly enough, I'm not upset leaving it. I feel very peaceful about it.
I feel very neutral on it, honestly. I don't love it, don't hate it. There were a few highlights for me, but
I got the songs I got. I think, thankfully, the rapping was so good that like I'm like, great, I got some more rap Drake songs. I didn't surprisingly get the pop songs that, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted like an In My Feelings. I wanted something, or even something like That's How You Feel, Mob Ties, stuff that's low key, kind of really catchy, even though it's not going to be a single. I feel like I didn't really get a lot of that either. Like, Drake was locked into his songwriting bag on Scorpion. As bloated as it was, there's really a lot of highlights on there for me.
Bloated?
No, as bloated as it was.
Bloated flower bomb.
What time is this? 2:30 a.m. California time. That means it's 4:30 a.m. your time.
It's 4:25.
And you still got to put this shit out. So
I got to put it together. Let's get out of here, Drake.
You got to go. Guys.
This review's a duppy.
You know what? Okay. Hold on. If you like this shit, patreon.com/raprankings. $5 a month. You get bonus content. You support the show. Keep shit like this coming if you liked it. And if you don't want to support us and maybe you just want to fucking keep listening to the free shit, that's fine too. Subscribe at least to youtube.com/raprankings. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Don't dox us. Good night.
Peace.